Alright, we're live. Welcome to Smokesteve's International Pub. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hopefully you are well. I just got down here a few seconds ago, so just going to try to get quickly set up. It's always a little bit of a challenge. One viewer, two viewers, that's cool. I always like to get it opened up on YouTube as well, so let me do that. And hopefully everybody had a good week. Beautiful day here. Didn't do anything fun today. Just working in the yard. Nice walk around town. A lot of yard work, which is good. You got to do it once in a while. It sucks, but if you don't, it gets out of hand. Shit just grows like crazy. Let's try this guy. Hopefully everything's okay sound-wise. Not seeing a lot of action here. I think it's summer, so these could be quiet. Could be a quiet evening, which is cool. I'm not seeing clearly here. It's like I need a better light. No, I never do. So, let's see, does this help? Not really. It helps up close, but not far away. I'll try my dual action lighting here. No, my eyes are just getting old, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Mr. Kill C1, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by, man. Cheers. Hopefully you're done with the responsibility and can crack yourself a cold beer or make yourself a nice little little drink or something. But thanks for being here, brother. What's going on with you? What's going on in the UK? Seeing some pretty disturbing videos from Europe in general, and fighting and amongst some of these I don't even know what you call them, asylum seekers, something like that. It's pretty disturbing stuff, man. Cool beer up, brother. Hell yeah. I know you work Saturdays is a day on for you, so just got home means you probably got off around midnight, which is kind of a strange shift for by standards, but you know, people need to work. People work, you know. Probably get to sleep in tomorrow, I hope. And I don't know what it's like over there for you guys, weather-wise. It's been kind of a funky summer here. They're attributing it to the El Nino, like whatever the hell that is. I've been hearing that for years, and I still have never really looked it up, to tell you the truth. I know I've looked it up, but it's like I don't know how it. It's a greater cycle thing. Let's see what see what I can find out here. Complex weather patterns resulting from variations in ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific. Okay. Okay, yeah, so it switches between El Nino and La Nina, the boy and the girl. Heavy rain, cup of tea, what's up, homeboy? Good to see you, man. Always the rain. I don't know why. The UK is just inundated with rain. Keeps it green, though, I'm sure. But when the sun comes out, it must be glorious. Or when the sun comes out, then everyone's bitching about the heat. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's nothing like a nice 85-degree summer day. Cool. Nothing wrong with that cup. Keep yourself, keep that money coming in, man. $52 an hour to do nothing. $52 an hour is pretty good dough. It's A-okay, my man. Last Dance, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Just 9 minutes late. I was 2 minutes late starting, so all good, my friend. Been cold and wet. The weather people are so upset they are showing us Europe in bright red to keep up the propaganda. Johnny Grammaticus, JG, what's up, man? Gotta love, we call that under the table here, cup of tea. Under the table work is always good. And if for small amounts like that, it's fine. Yeah, I saw somebody posted about that on Twitter, Mr. Kill. They posted like comparisons of weather maps from like 6 or 7 years ago, and now they're like bright red, purple, you know, like fire engine red. It's like, yeah. And also, of course, you know, I do think things are getting warmer, and I do think that humans have an effect on that. I don't think it's a great effect, and I don't think anything that we do. Hey, Drone Tech, what's up, bro? Anything we do is going to change anything. To tell you the truth, they're not really making a legitimate case for how we're going to reduce our carbon, which is all well and good. I'm fine with it, but if they want to do it, then let's just start constructing nuclear power plants strategically around the high population areas in the country. You guys have heard me say it before. Nuclear power plants take a long time to construct, but if they want green energy, there you go. There's a simple way. Get them started. And if you want to run electric vehicles and charge them off of nuclear power, there you go. There's a zero carbon system. But doing what they're doing now and running them off of potentially a lot of coal-fired power plants, you're still producing a ton of carbon. It might not be coming out of the tailpipe of the car, but it's coming out of the friggin' power plant that charges it. So, what the fuck, man? I said the F word. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Hey, you know what? Let's flip it around here since we got some people here, and I'm just going to add you guys in, and we'll see what happens. Last Dance.
Hey.
How are you?
All right. Good evening to you.
Good evening to you. And Mr. Drone Tech, how you doing, brother?
All right, Drone Tech. Good to see you.
Just stop oil. How you doing, Drone? You're silent.
Can't hear you, Drone Tech.
That's okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we've gone over this before, Last Dance, and what do you think? There you go. You're in, dude. You're in. I mean, things are getting warmer. Would you guys agree with that?
I have no idea. I mean, how can you tell?
I don't know.
Personally, there's no way to know. Certainly, you have to go with the scientists and
long-term climate data.
And a lot of people don't trust scientists, especially after
here's
COVID.
The thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a clip going around right now. It's an old clip of Al Gore talking, and it's funny because it's from like network news, and it's Rush Limbaugh debating Al Gore on like the Sunday news. Did you see that?
I saw your clip of it on YouTube,
Okay.
Twitter. Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I think there is something really interesting to glean from that. Obviously, Al Gore made a ton of predictions, doomsday predictions that turned out to not be true. But like, he really pushed hard in that clip, the whole like ozone layer hole over the United States. He was pushing that hardcore, and Rush Limbaugh was like, "Yeah, I don't know, I doubt it." And who turned out to be right on that? Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then, but who's alive now?
Right.
I know. You know what? I freaking miss Rush. I gotta say that. I like Rush a lot.
Absolutely.
I never really.
And I never agreed with anything he ever said.
Right. I started out listening to him, hating him, and I used to. My grandma loved him, and it bothered me, and I'd argue with her all the time about him. So I would listen, just so because I knew she would, and we would hang out a lot, and we would argue. And then over time, I just started to agree with him. And I'm like, now I love Rush.
Yeah, the hole in the ozone layer was that basically caused by aerosol?
CFCs.
CFCs, which they did away with, and it went away. It seemed like.
Yeah, but I think I think there is some debate about that now. I don't know exactly. I've dabbled in it, but I do think there is some debate over whether that was a completely natural occurrence that will happen periodically, or if it was actually caused by CFCs.
Right.
I mean, there's a new boogeyman in town, and it's climate change.
I mean, you remember in the 80s, it was acid rain.
Right, exactly. And then, now who knows? There's probably still acid rain, but nobody cares anymore.
Killer bees.
Hey,
Remember they showed maps, and the killer bees were working their way up through the country? Like,
and they always a lot of people have been posting pictures of a couple years ago when they talked about high temperatures in areas, and they showed screenshots where it's just green, and now where they just make everything red, like everything's on fire. And you watch the news and you see these posts on Twitter from the mainstream media, and they're definitely trying to get people. Every summer they do this. They're like, "Oh, it's hot because our predictions were always right." I love science. I believe in science, but I definitely am skeptical about like data that's presented to the public, and especially when it comes to this, because it just seems like they've been making these predictions for 60 years now or something, and they're always wrong. And it's so similar to like doomsday cults. If you look up like doomsday cults and look into them, it's the same. It's so similar. It's like they look into the Bible, they glean some sort of secret code from it, they decode it, they get a date. The date comes, they tell everybody, get ready, it's coming this date. It doesn't happen. Oh, wait a minute, we just need to recalculate the date. Oh, it's this date. Right? It's the same thing. It's so, and that's not the only similarity. There's a lot of similarities, but I think it's essentially a doomsday cult that the powers that be or whatever are using as like a means of control. And it's not just that. They're using all these different avenues.
Are they using it to get off of oil to break a dependency on the Middle East to get away from that? Is that their goal? Even maybe they're guising it as climate change and the green energy and all this and that, but I have a feeling
maybe in the long term that's it, but like in the short term we're actually helping them, and we're actually helping like Russia and all these, because we're letting them reap all the benefits while we are hamstringing ourselves and making ourselves just like before the war between Russia and Ukraine, when Trump was president, he was warning that Europe and Germany especially was too reliant on Russia for energy and too reliant on the U.S. for defense. And then you remember the media at the time was like, "Oh, this means Trump was trying to dissolve NATO, and he's just a Putin puppet." But he turned out to be right. Like Germany was too reliant, and NATO at large, NATO countries at large, are too reliant on Russia for energy, which is why they've been able to keep doing. They've been able to skirt our sanctions, right?
Yeah, and they laughed at Trump.
We don't need to be. Like we could easily be the largest producer of oil, but we hamstring ourselves. So maybe you're right. Maybe the calculation, maybe it's like a gamble that in the future, in the long run, we're going to come out on top. But right now, it looks like national suicide.
Yeah, and Biden immediately shut down the whatever the pipeline was coming through the central part of the United States, the XL. There's already a large pipeline. There was going to be a bigger one, which he immediately shut down, which I think sucks. I mean,
right? Like, who does that help? It doesn't help. Like, the fact of the matter is, look, I love the idea of like alternative energy sources. I watched Back to the Future 2 with my kids today. They'd never seen it. I just decided to get it and watch it with them. And I love that movie when I was a kid. I just have always loved the idea of these like future. What was it called in Back to the Future 2? That you could like recycle garbage, whatever. I'm all for whatever alternative energy sources come about, but like we're not there yet. We can't let our like desires and our dreams overshadow that we need oil to compete and exist in this world right now. And there's not even any solid proof. Like I'm willing to get on board that we need to get off of them because I want to be a good steward of the earth and all that. But I'm also like I don't want to let myself be like manipulated emotionally like I feel most people are being.
I mean, I do think the nuclear power route is definitely the way to go. If that's and why they're not going there. And there's these arguments. I even heard some people argue that, well, nuclear power plants take too long to build, so that won't help anything. I'm like, well, start them fucking now. If you start them right now, in whatever, say it's 30 months to build one. I don't know, 2 years. Who knows?
Exactly.
Then we'll be better off.
The same thing about drilling for oil. They're like, oh, it'll take years before we benefit from that. Okay, what's your point? Like, I don't get what you're saying.
Right.
It's not an argument. But the opposition will say that every single time. I'm a big fan of Star Trek. I actually didn't grow up watching it. I hated it for most of my life. And then suddenly I started liking it when I was a teenager. But I remember there's an episode in Next Generation where you go to a planet and all the life has been wiped out because they used some energy source that backfired and killed them all. And I know that at the time that was supposed to be like an anti-nuclear power kind of thing. So like that sort of propaganda has been being pushed for a long time. But nuclear power at this point is so advanced, like it's so safe now.
Yeah, I mean, just don't build one in a potentially tsunami zone,
Right, I know. It's like, why did you put it there? Like,
right.
Why did you put that there? Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
But,
especially a country with so much experience with this sort of thing.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah, you see...
I've never understood that, the Fukushima plant.
It was... they have polluted a lot of the Pacific Ocean with low-level radiation
Did
there.
they just flood the reactors or something? They cooled them down recently?
Did they really?
Did they end up doing that? Yeah. Well... I won't say I can't remember for sure if they ended up doing it. I remember they were debating it because it needed, and that was the only way they could cool it. And that some radiation. I'll look it up, but I think they did it.
So they're going to be reacting for how long? I mean, Last Dance, you're pretty well versed in this stuff. Are those?
Well, the nuclear reaction, the fission reaction, stops immediately when the control rods are inserted. So that just stops. But there's a lot of isotopes that are generated by fission that then go through a decay process on their own, and those don't stop. And those decays also generate energy, and so that just keeps going on. I don't know how long, but it's a long time. And so you gotta keep cooling systems available long after you shut the fission reaction down, unless it's a brand new reactor that's just started producing power.
Yeah, the one here in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I'm not in Plymouth, but in Plymouth, Massachusetts, they shut down. I don't know, probably 3 years ago, and they have like 1 million gallons of wastewater that they don't know what to do with, so they want to dump it into Cape Cod Bay. I guess they're saying it's such a low level of wastewater that it won't affect anything negatively, but obviously people don't like the sound of that, you know? It's cooling water, I think, that is in a pond, then it goes and cools the thing. I don't think it actually ever touches radiation, but it's close enough. Right, it's close enough that I think that if you hold a Geiger counter near it, it's probably going to give you some kind of a reading, you know?
Yeah, it's probably very low level. It's not. I'm sure it's completely harmless.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what's known, you know.
Mm-hmm. And within a certain area, like, you could get iodine pills if you lived within a certain distance of that, and you could request them if you were further away. I remember reading literature that you know, like, this was the thing, like, if there's a meltdown, like, if you live near them, they're supposed to provide iodine pills. I guess you take iodine pills in the case of a radiation leak. What does that do? It blocks absorption at your thyroid or something like that? Is that right?
I'm not exactly sure of the process. I think it binds with some radioactive isotopes, preferentially, and so it is able to eliminate them. I'm not exactly sure of how that process works, and I don't know that it applies to all radioactive pollution.
I think what they were telling in the literature was, like, if there's a meltdown, take the pills and drive away from the meltdown. But, like, first thing you're supposed to do is take the pills. So apparently, yeah, it does slow down or stop absorption of radiation. Pretty interesting stuff. Topple's saying 3 Mile Island is doing great. He's usually facetious, so I assume he's kidding, right?
Well, I mean, it was the 3 Mile Island was the tiniest release of radioactivity. It was, you know, completely harmless.
Mm-hmm. But it did make a good movie. I think it was the movie about 3 Mile Island, right?
I don't know. Can't remember a movie about 3 Mile Island.
Or maybe I'm mixing up. There was one, like, radioactive, like, radiation leak movie filmed in a power plant where I thought it was the 3 Mile Island one.
Could be. I mean, I don't see many movies.
Really? I thought you were a big movie guy.
I see some, but not that many.
I'm a big movie guy. What are you talking about? 3 Mile Island?
I thought there was a movie made about it.
Are you talking about the movie with Meryl Streep?
I think so. Totally, like, 70s,
Played
80s.
Karen Silkwood played. I don't know what that was about. I can't remember whatever scandal that was.
Segueing into Oppenheimer. Any interest? Either of you guys?
I'm planning on seeing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably see it. I mean, I don't care that much about it, to be honest. I mean, what's to be so excited? Movies in general, like, it's funny. I'm a big movie buff, but movies these days don't interest me, like, at all. I don't know. I must be alone in that, but the Barbie. I think a more interesting topic would be the Barbie phenomenon that's going on right now. Barbie.
I don't know anything about the Barbie.
I don't either, but apparently everybody's talking about it. So something about it. Apparently, it's a very, like, one side is saying it's super woke, the other side is saying it's actually anti-woke.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, NPR must have mentioned the Barbie movie like 20 fucking times in this past week. I don't know why it kept coming up, and they're woke, so I think they're thinking it's woke, you know?
Yeah, apparently it delves into kind of woke topics. I never even considered watching it, but now everybody's seeing it. Shapiro did a review of it, even Ben Shapiro. So I haven't watched it yet, but I know he did one. Yeah, it's something to do right now.
I mean, I don't know, dude. How can so you can't figure out if it's woke or not woke? That's bizarre.
Can you play the trailer? Can you play the trailer like in a window?
Can I?
A barber? Yeah, I mean, I think we can play it. Yes, but I'm wondering.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you can do it here through StreamYard, right?
I can, but legally, will I get copyrighted?
I don't.
They
think
want you
so.
to play the trailer.
Do you really care if it does? I mean, who cares?
Well, then
Strike for it. You're not going to strike for it.
I just have to go back and edit it out.
Maybe. I think you're fine. It's a trailer, and you're doing it with content. We're talking over
Right.
everything. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and that.
If we were doing a live stream. If I was doing a live stream, I feel safe in playing it.
Okay, and as my wife says, enough with the woke. She's right, because we can't even figure out if it's woke or anti-woke or like.
Right.
So we would have to watch the movie, right?
Right.
Or believe what someone wrote about it.
Well, we can watch the
trailer.
review, or let's watch the trailer.
Here's what I know. There's no chance I would be interested in watching it, whether it was
I'm
woke or
semi-interested.
anti-woke.
Because I
You're
think it
interested
might.
because of
I think it might
controversy.
subvert my expectations.
Okay.
Okay, it is 2 minutes and 42 seconds long.
Well, you don't have to play the whole thing.
In
fact,
a world where Barbie is real.
All right.
Well, it is a subvert your expectations type movie. I know that. Like, it's not what you expect it to be.
Now, is this based on some sort of... All I know of Barbie is the doll.
Yeah, I know nothing.
Is there
about
were there
it.
books written about this after that, or you know?
I don't know about books. I do know there was a cartoon like Barbie Friends, I think. Like,
Okay.
I know, like, my kid liked that one for a while, so Topple, he wanted to see it because Margot Robbie is hot, but I forgot I can see what I want on The Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, she was in that. I did not see that movie. Here we go. Okay, you guys can see that?
Yep. Perfect.
Hey Barbie, can I come to your house today?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
Oh God.
Diamonds under my eyes.
This is the best
When there's
day ever.
dancing?
It is the best day ever. So is
But
yesterday.
there's
and
tons
so
of
is
dancing
tomorrow
in
and every
this
day from
movie.
now till
They'll do
forever.
that in movies just because they have nothing else.
Do you guys
Right?
ever think about dying?
It's the dance.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
You guys ever think about dying? Did you say that?
About dying?
You guys ever think about dying?
When my heart breaks,
Some things have been happening that might be related.
when my world shakes.
Cold shower, falling off my roof, and my heels are on the ground.
No.
Wait, is that a dude or a woman? I
No,
don't
that's
know.
I don't know anymore, man.
All right.
You know what? I'm so glad I'm not in the world anymore. Thank God. Thank God.
I don't
feel
know.
bad for
Jesus
boys
Christ.
growing up in this world right now.
Um,
That's why they're encouraging. Man, what is happening? Yeah, we could delve into that, man, if you want.
Epstein didn't kill himself to questioning your name, Drone. Yes, in the sidebar.
Is it about technology, drone technology?
Nothing to do with drones. Okay, so yeah, so the name Drone Tech comes back, goes all the way back. I used to be a DJ way back in like the late '90s, and I wasn't Drone Tech. I went by my last name, Stoots, DJ Stoots. And but here in Columbus, Ohio, I'm not in Columbus, Ohio anymore. But in Columbus, Ohio, there was a group of DJs. One of them was named Low Tech, which was a really cool name. I still think that's a cool name, Low Tech, Lotek. And the other, he had like a partner named Drone Tech. And I always just thought that was a super cool name. And then I made a Live Leak account eventually, which Smokesteve and most of you guys who are watching might know. And I was Drone Tech on there, and got fairly big on there. And then I made a YouTube channel and just thought I'd keep the name for recognition. And
Right.
that's pretty much it. I was in the Air Force, but I didn't work with drones.
Your name
Drones-
really
I do want to. I am
Come
going to
on,
make a name
John.
change at some point. I just am waiting to like kind of have a eureka moment about it.
Yeah, there weren't airborne drones when you came up with that name.
No. Well, yeah, there was like the Predator drones and things like that.
There were
Like
just
the airplane ones. Remember?
they
Yeah,
were just
like-
coming out, but there weren't commodity
It wasn't-
retail drones.
It wasn't like now. Yeah.
Almost like pilotless airplanes back then.
I wonder if that had anything to do with my ability to somehow get big on YouTube. Like
Interesting.
my name somehow may have worked through the algorithm or something. You know. I don't know. It wasn't intentional if that happened.
Did back with speaking of Live Leak, you never made a cent. Nobody did, right? Off of Live Leak.
Well, I made a couple $100 actually because there were a couple contests that Hayden ran that I ended up winning both of them. So yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting site because they made all the money. Hayden and whoever else, which these mystery people or person that he was paired up with, which he's never let on about.
Yeah.
But he's always made clear that he was part of it. He was not the whole entity, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that, you know, I don't want to pat my own back or anything, but I would say I had a fairly big hand in making the channel, making the website big. Because, I mean, the videos I was uploading at the time were getting, like, pretty big views for that era. I was getting contacted by, like, news agencies and shit, and it was wild. It was a wild time.
Were you featuring stuff you found on the internet or more commentary like you do now?
No, it was just sharing videos. Yeah, like it started out. I noticed if I looked on MySpace and I searched certain parameters, I could find soldiers who were actually deployed and like uploading stuff to their own channel. Not like for any, but they were public. They weren't like necessarily trying to share them, but they were public videos and I could find them. And I was just like taking those videos, basically ripping them and uploading to Live Leak. And nobody had seen these videos, you know. But then like soldiers and Marines started just sending me stuff.
Oh, no kidding, huh?
Yeah, they just started sending me stuff, and yeah, and then it was just like that's when I started to get big because I was just uploading like stuff nobody had ever seen. And, yeah, it was a crazy time. It was fun.
That's pretty cool, man. Because if not for,
I almost went to Iraq. I tried to get myself to Iraq, and Hayden. There was a guy named Rick Sanchez at the time. I think that was his name, and he was a Marine. He was a gay Marine, and he was like an activist on our side. I don't know if you remember that, but he was working with me. We were all gonna like try to get me out there, and I was gonna do like reports and stuff, but it kind of fell through, and I'm glad it did. But yeah. Anyway.
yeah, dude, you could have wound up headless
I
for
know.
Christ's sake. Jesus,
it's
man.
It's like, well, who knows what would have happened if that would? Maybe it would have led me on a whole other path. Who knows?
Right.
Or I would have died horribly.
You could have been Tucker. You could have been Tucker Carlson.
Right.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But hey, I like it. I like the way it turned out. It's good.
Yeah, right, exactly. And you transitioned to YouTube, which went huge for you, but then I've heard you reference, like, around the time when Trump got elected, something happened. Like, did they start seeing you as, like, the enemy, or what happened? Did they start, like,
Well, I got
not spreading your shit around? What was it going on there, you know?
Yeah, I got demonetized. I was demonetized for like 6 months or something.
Do you know what the reason was?
I don't remember. It was just like I think they said reuse because I was using media. Pretty much my videos were media clips and me talking over them, like doing talkovers. You know, they said I was reusing these clips, right? I was just reusing footage. I guess that's the excuse anyway. But so that's why I started getting on camera in the first place. So I started doing all my videos that way. So I'm like, oh, if I do it on video, if I'm on camera, maybe. And so far, so good. So, although I did get shut down for like 3 months before the demonetization. I got shut down for like 3 months, no reason. I never knew why. Got it back, and then got demonetized when Trump got elected.
Right. So you can like show features of things that could be considered news, like, but you get away with showing the view. I would think that could be questionable.
Yeah.
I showed SNL once. I got booted. I got immediately video like blocked for an SNL clip, you know.
Yeah, you got to just do it quickly, and you got to add stuff to it, and you got to have. There's got to be an overall creative effort given, and as long as you can show that, I think that makes all the difference. You have to show that you put effort into creating your own product around that. You know what I mean? It can't just be me talking over a clip. You got to do more of that. I guess I do more because I've been up to this point. I've been all right.
Yeah, The View definitely serves up some
Although my views up now.
the ridiculous content that you easily latch onto that they provide. The View, it's fucking.
They're awful. Yeah, they're so awful, and it's just like it's like they're trying to be as awful, and it cracks me up that they bring on Alyssa Pereira, or however you say her name, who's supposed to be like the conservative. And it's so funny, and the other chick who's supposed to be the conservative. And it's so funny how, all these conservatives in our media all hate conservatives, all of them.
Was it?
There's a guy on CNN. What's his name? And he's weak sauce. And
who? Smirkanish?
no, there's no. That guy is left. No, he's what's his name? Damn, I can't think of it. He's kind of a nerdy guy, and he's very pointy, and I can't think of his name, damn it. But he's always like he does fight back a little bit. He's very weak sauce, so that's why they got him on there. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of him either.
I'm not thinking of his name right now, but yeah.
So I mean, people like Ana Navarro, they are neoconservatives.
Oh God,
and the neos have kind of moved into the Democratic Party now.
Well, it's like a uniparty, right? We're definitely moving towards a one-party rule type system, and what we're watching is sort of they're working that up, getting it normalized into the American conscious that Republicans are bad, they're extremists, they're domestic enemies, terrorists even, and they should be just charge them all for whatever. If you can charge them with something, charge them all, throw them in prison, get rid of them, outlaw them, and then here you got the uniparty. We're going to save democracy. We're going to save the earth. Done. It's good. It's all good, right? And that's the way it's going to be sold.
So you think they're attacking the right?
Oh, absolutely. I don't even want to say the right, because I think they're freaking way far left, like Orwell, or the stuff that George Orwell wrote about. They are that. Literally. So I don't even know what that is, but like they just cast whatever opposes them as right wing, which they have turned into, a bad thing. You cannot be right. Left is okay, but you cannot be right.
There is some definite animosity from both sides towards each other, and you hear people on the right saying stupid things sometimes. This anti-woke crowd. It's not like, it's almost like I choose a little from each side. I kind of pick whatever fits me. How can one define themselves as left or right? It seems fucking impossible. But yet there are a lot of people on the left and a lot of people on the right who, if you think one thing that liberals agree with, then you're like the enemy, which is fucking crazy, dude.
It's more so on the left. I mean, look at like what's going on with Anna Sarkeesian, or whatever her name is, from Young Turks. Do you know about her? She's always been constantly like anti-right, but now she came under attack for deviating slightly, and it's like it opened her eyes.
And a Kasparian.
Kasparian, yeah. I'm getting her used with the Gamergate. That's right. My bad. All right. So anyway, yeah, her. I find this chick annoying anyway, because everything with her is like fuck this and fuck that, fuck. It's just so dumb. Like when I listen to her talk, but it's funny. Her eyes have been opened just because she's come under this sort of like she is a heretic now within her cult.
Yeah. She's got attacked by her own side, isn't she? Viciously.
Yeah. And I think you see that a lot more on their side. Maybe you see it somewhat. I just feel like you want to call me right wing or whatever. I don't know what that means anymore, because I've never been right wing, right, ever in my life. But now I am, just because I take certain positions.
But what was a controversial statement? She said it's not a bonus hole; it's called a vagina, wasn't it?
Right, they would have called it a bonus hole. Like, what is that? What is wrong with these people?
And she said, that's one step too far. I haven't got a bonus hole.
Right.
I've got a vagina. And she got done for it.
She's also suggested that she's not comfortable with trans women going into women's private spaces.
Right.
And I would assume sports.
Well, I don't know that she's even bothered to comment on that. I think it just takes one bit of heresy. One tiny bit of heresy.
You just got to be 5% away from their talking point.
Right,
And that's
and
it.
The witch burnings will commence.
I mean, look at what's her name? The older lesbian tennis player who.
Martina Navratilova.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at how she came out. She's like, I was as good a woman that you'll ever see on the tennis court.
Right.
And like hundreds of men can beat me. It's like.
She was also truly a pioneer in acceptance of transgenderism.
Right.
Because her coach, if you remember, was a trans woman.
She's not anti-trans. She's just biological men competing against biological females.
Yeah, but she openly had a trans coach in the,
Right.
in the 70s when it,
Yeah.
So,
But she's actually using logic.
right. So, none of these.
Can someone name a very good sports person, known in America, maybe not in the UK, and vice versa, where they actually think that biological men should compete in women's sports? Because I don't know any professional, ex-professional, or even current professional that agree on it.
Hasn't Megan Rapinoe come out in favor of biological men?
Yeah, but she's a wrong one anyway. She's the captain, isn't she, with the pink hair? She's a proper wrong one.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, she's a horrible piece of work.
All right, good enough.
She's the captain, isn't she, for the American squad?
Yeah.
She was. I think she might be retired. Yeah. She's had some issues along the way, though.
She thinks that the women's team should be paid the same as the men's team.
Well, everybody wants to get paid more, so.
But if you don't bring in the ad revenue and you don't bring in the sponsorship, then you just get. If it's the other way around, it would work the other way around, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even watch basketball really, but you got Steph Curry out there banging threes one after another, and the fucking crowd's going crazy. People in their homes are going nuts. How many of those people watching are then like the next night going, all right, cool, WNBA, here we go, y'all? No, it doesn't fucking happen, dude. I'm sorry, and I respect them as athletes. If they bring in $100 million over the year for a league, which I think their league brought in a couple of $100 million, and there's so many fucking people in it, then you have to do the math, and the owners, sorry to say, should probably make the most, and then they can pay their employees, the players, accordingly. That's how it works in the NBA. That's why Steph's getting $35 a year. That's because he earns it, dude. It's the same in baseball. They earn the money. That's why they pay the athletes that well. It has nothing to do with sexism.
That's right. They all get paid on sponsorship and ad revenue. Yeah, I mean, whatever professional sort of, they're where everything's based off that, and they get a percentage of that. When they compete. But the reality is, if they don't bring the bucks in, I mean, there is tennis, for example. Female tennis is sometimes better than men's tennis, I find.
Holy shit!
Is that him? Is that him?
Who, what?
It looks like him.
Holy shit, dude.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Stop there.
What's going on, man? Long time.
I don't even have a setup at home anymore, so it's just
Steve,
like...
what's your Twitter?
Smokesteve at Steve-O, I think. Something. How you been, man?
Good. Good, just
Oh, there
really
it
busy. Saw this pop up tonight and thought I'd come in and say hello, see how everyone's doing.
Always welcome, always.
I'm just really happy this is still going.
Yeah, this is kind of your child in some sense.
Mhm.
Hayden, what's up, buddy?
Your
Yeah,
ugly
I
child.
know, so I'm like, I recognize that. Dude. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, we were talking about Live Leak earlier, man. Did you happen to hear that?
No, I literally saw the post and just jumped in.
Man,
Fired up the laptop.
this is epic.
Jumped in just to, like I say, see how everyone is, see how everyone's doing. And
Very well.
Man, we should talk to Hayden about what he's doing.
Yeah, dude, you're
He's into some interesting stuff right now.
this
totally,
weekend,
man.
This weekend, not a lot, just a bit of writing up notes for the next film.
Oh, cool.
So I finished Kara, and we'll start the second edit. Start the second edit Monday. Then it goes off to the sound designer and the composer, and I start pre-production on our next film. So
Cool.
yeah, it's crazy, it's insane, but yeah, loving it.
When are you looking to release Kara?
We had a meeting the other week. We still got some guys coming on who are taking care of all the PR and where to take it, and I'm having nothing to do with that because I don't network very well at all. Might surprise you to learn I don't play well in that field.
You built websites, but you don't network.
No, I don't go to parties and hang out with people and shit like that. So I've been ordered by that partner again to get a passport. So fuck knows. I think we're looking at hitting the festivals around March.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
It looks great. It looks fucking great. I'm really stoked with it.
Is it completely done right now?
It's all shot. Like I say, there's still the sound design, some color grading, music, and then we're going to get a couple of actors back up to do some ADR. But it'll all be finished for September, and then we'll do a cast and crew showing, and then it'll just get locked away, and on to the next.
Wow, that is crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm so happy with everything you're doing, man. Like, I'm glad you're going for it, and your stuff is good. I've watched it; it's good, and I can't wait to see this Kara.
Yeah,
I can't wait till you do. I can't wait to do some H.P. Lovecraft adaptation.
That'll be a long way off. That's big money shit. Isn't it? I have a few. If I had unlimited budget, this is what I'd make ideas, but I don't give them as much attention right now because just too slammed. It's just fucking insane. It's a huge amount of fun, though.
Yeah.
Huge amount of fun.
Hayden, have you been kicked from Twitter, or are you still on it? Because I haven't seen you for a while.
No, I've been back on Twitter.
Yeah,
for a
he's
few
been
months
posting a lot.
now.
A few weeks. I'll have to sub you again.
Yeah,
You got kicked, did you?
Oh, I was banned for months.
Yeah, I thought so because I didn't get your tweets.
I was permanently banned for months.
Spicy as hell on there, though, we knew.
Yeah, well, you've got past the time, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, it's a full-length film, Cara. It's going to run about 90 minutes, thereabouts, give or take.
It looks creepy, but you've been very cagey about releasing too much about it. And I know I'm not going to get anything out of you, but obviously there's a
psychological horror film, and it's the story of a young woman whose greatest fear is to be put back in a hospital where either bad things happen to her or she thinks bad things happen to her, and it's dark as fuck. It's dark as fuck. And the next film is dark in a different way, but it's still pretty hard going.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so much you can.
I know.
So,
I just want you to make it big, and I can be like, I know that guy.
yeah.
If I make it that big,
I already say that anyway.
I'm doing festivals over there. James is good. We were supposed to talk at the end of this week, but I couldn't. Not about anything in particular, just have a catch up. But he's doing well. He's doing something else. Cherry, I've not heard of a couple of years.
Okay.
I
And
know
you got.
that he's okay because his wife is the sister of someone I know, so I know he's doing okay, and he's apparently living his best life.
Good for him.
Know. Yeah.
And Graham is still your right hand man.
Yeah, well, Graham is the producer on Kara.
Nice.
Worked his ass off. He's got a little boy as well now, so he's got a new addition.
That's so cool.
1 year old. He was in a music video that we made for someone, so that was really nice.
Huh. The boy.
Yeah, I was just
the baby. Cool.
Lovely getting him in there. But Graham's good. I was talking to him. Well, we talk every couple of days anyway. So, but yeah, everyone's cool.
That's awesome, dude.
Everyone, all 3 people that we all know.
Right.
Doing great.
Definitely tell Grandma said hi.
I will do though. I'll have to get him to come on one while if a few drinks. And Last Dance, congratulations.
What am I being congratulated for?
You're still alive.
Thank you. I accept your congrats.
No, I think you've done really well.
I made him my #1 admin, so I gave him like access to the channel, like you did me. Like what, 4 years ago? Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with Last Dance.
No. The worst comes to the worst, they'll just forget about it pretty soon anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And then you'll be ready to be president.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I might have to have a little more of my brain removed to meet the standards.
Give it time. Give it time. Nature.
I can probably fake it.
Yeah, I mean, what do we have over here? We've got, not the best candidates coming up. I mean, how are you guys see them in the UK the same as we do? But how do you perceive them? Like, I mean, 3 years ago, Hayden, you were saying Biden's fucking lost. Now, I mean,
it's weird because everyone, it's so popular to hate Trump that somehow these people think they have to defend Biden. And I think it's possible. I think it's possible to dislike Trump and acknowledge that Joe Biden is not getting the care he needs right now.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
Why can't people manage that? It's like, well, no. And every time on Twitter, if I mention Biden, someone has to mention Trump to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about Donald Trump.
As if those were the only 2 possible choices.
Yeah.
And it's just everything, isn't it? You can't address any single issue without having to address 20 other issues that you're not interested in.
That's right. I was talking about this earlier. Like, you can't pick and choose between the left and the right, things that suit your belief system to kind of shape yourself. Now it's basically, oh, you believe in that? You're my enemy, you know? Like, I believe in, let's say, like, basically open gun laws, and I believe in freedom of choice. So I'm like, people think I'm a baby killer, and the other side thinks I'm a mass murderer because I think they shouldn't fucking interfere with our guns, you know? It's
spoken for a wee bit. For a while I chatted with spoke to him on the phone a few times. It's Jeremy Kaufman of the New Hampshire Libertarians. That's great. Everyone fucking hates him. Superb. And he's just had a lot of trouble over crypto and stuff with his Ethereum library and Odyssey and things like that. But yeah, being a libertarian, everybody hates him online, which is superb. And I commend him for that. Even if I don't agree with him politically and everything, I do greatly admire his ability to genuinely annoy people on both the left and the right. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to be said for that.
It's not hard to do. I'm just going to grab 2 beers real quick.
What's your opinions on Kennedy? That's his fan switching off, that is. We're all still here.
Man, he needs to switch those off.
Fucking fan. It's fucking crazy.
Man. It's like I'm on Enterprise times 20.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know much about Kennedy. I heard an interview with him on the radio, and I thought, my first thought was I didn't expect him to sound like that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like I've seen a picture of him once or twice, and he's all like this ripped up old man, but he has the voice of a broken crackhead, and I struggle with that a little. And then Kennedy, and I listened to him for a bit.
It's hard to
and
listen to.
Yeah, and then I turned the radio off and thought, well, that's quite enough of that nonsense, and that's it.
Well,
It's hard to listen to him talk for very long.
yeah, and
You're
he freely admits that as well. He knows he's got a problem with his voice. It won't get any worse, he
I don't
says.
think that's his only problem.
Okay, yeah. But what I've noticed, obviously, is the legacy media don't want to even platform him at all.
I don't blame him, because he's not going to win anything. No one cares. Legacy media, we all get tied up in this control thing. It's about money. That's all it is, really. I know I hang out with Richie and everything's got a reason. It's money. CNN appeal to the market that funds them the best. Fox appeal to the market that funds them the best, and they will stay on message whenever possible. And Mr. Kennedy is just not big business because he sounds like a broken down crackhead, and he probably believes in chemtrails. So,
well, yeah, I'm not going to even disagree with, like I said, his voice and some of his policies. He's big against the Second Amendment, so I'm told, and what I've heard about him. But what I've noticed is a lot of Trump supporters are actually quite liking some of his opinions, and the Democrats don't see him as a Democrat, full stop. And it's just funny. There's quite a lot of Trump people are sort of interested in what he's got to say.
Oh, Donald put him straight on that.
I know, but
what do you guys think about what's going on with Trump with all these different charges getting thrown up again? It's like a deluge, a tsunami of charges now coming in. Like, to me that says like this is bullshit. Like it's like a redo of what was going on during his 4 years of presidency, just all coming all at once.
We've got on a smaller scale over here. We had Boris Johnson. They're trying to see if they can get him prosecuted for having a party during COVID.
Yeah, Partygate.
We've got all these people who are like, my family died, but you're having a party. Well, someone from my family died, but I don't give a fuck if that stupid prick is having a party.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I want him to run the fucking country. If anyone, he should lead by example. Who in the fuck uses Boris Johnson as an example of how to live your life?
Well,
I don't want to like these people. I want them to be good at the fucking job.
I never listened to him anyway.
Unfortunately, Boris wasn't very good at his job either.
And he's not much of a conservative, is he?
But all I want is people to be good at the job. I don't really care which party gets in. Just be good at your job. You know, that's all I expect, and I'm always going to be disappointed.
You're a workist.
But what I was more disappointed about, and that was throughout the world, was where the mass, the public, just listened to the governments and allowed it to happen, allowed to be restricted, allowed all the pressure, the mandates, the injections. And they just followed suit. That's what surprised me.
People were afraid.
Yeah. Fear porn. Fear porn.
People were afraid, and people react when they're afraid. I can't blame anyone for it. And then they got 12 months at home. The ones that are employed got 12 months at home. Fuck all. And the people that were unemployed got a pay rise. What
do you guys think about, like, the government, especially right now, starting to kind of be open about aliens and UFOs and that kind of thing? To me, like, I've always been a big believer in aliens and UFOs and all that stuff growing up from a young age, but now I'm suddenly skeptical of it just because they're saying it, and I'm wondering if they're not just sort of.
I think they've worded it very well, though, haven't they? They've worded it very well. We don't really know what this shit is. We
and I think that's like it's like ideological subversion that they're doing to this country.
Yeah,
that we don't know what's real and what isn't. But I think that's opening people up, just like the trans thing going on. They're kind of using that the same way, but with aliens and all this.
Is
when
that
you
where
tell
the
people that
trans
that's
people
basically real. Let me finish. I'm almost done.
Don't get Hayden on the trans now. You get all the Twitter mob on him.
No, but consider this: they're saying all this stuff now about aliens and UFOs and all that because they want people who will to believe anything they say. So, like, once people hear that and they believe that, they're more likely to believe like anything they're told. You know what I mean? Like, they're more open to believing whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible because, as we all know, I mean, it's statistically impossible there isn't life in the universe.
There has to be.
No, it's impossible. That
No, I
there
think
isn't
there
life.
is.
I know.
It's just impossible. I mean, it might not be anything we'd recognise, but there has to be life in the universe. However, it's like all the people you meet that talk about cryptids and aliens and the real and Bigfoot, and this and that. Everyone walks around with a 4K camera in their pocket now. Everybody. And
That's
the
right.
one thing no one can film is any of that shit.
Although you have to question the pilots,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The Air Force pilots, man, and this shit is live. You can get the recordings, and they're talking about it, and they have it on radar. Yeah, the pills, the Tic Tacs.
Commercial pilots after they retire. They won't talk about it while they're still flying because they'll get grounded. But after they retire, they have stories, and I like to listen to them. I don't know if it's real or not. I'd like it to be. I'd love to believe. I'd love to believe. If only so I could watch.
I want to believe.
Yeah, and if only so I could watch the fallout with all the churches and shit. You know, having a fight about that, and wow, what a time to be alive that'd be.
Yeah.
It's talking about maybe the connection maybe with like lost technologies with the pyramids and stuff. I find that really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, but I don't believe a fucking word of it. I think it's bollocks. I've been lectured. Do you know how much amazing technology we've lost? None, mate. None. Did you know they had vending machines in ancient Egypt? Not like you understand, dude. Nobody held the contactless up and got a fucking hot chocolate out there.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Can I ask you? It's really hard to hear. Hayden, can you turn him up or anything?
Of course, yes.
It's hard for me to hear him.
Just sit there and sweat, fat boy.
Can you slow that fan down a little bit and put it on it?
I'm really trying hard to understand him.
I think it's his accent.
No, it's not. I can understand.
I think it's glasses.
I mean,
turn the fans off and lose weight.
Have you guys ever heard of Armored Skeptic on YouTube?
I have heard of him.
Okay, well, he's got a series called History is a Lie. You should check that out. It's really interesting. It's super interesting, actually. Check it out.
Hello.
He talks about the pyramids and all that stuff. It's very interesting.
He's full of shit as well.
Well, he kind of hints at that, but I still think he's onto something.
Every one of these guys will just do your research. And do you know what the research involves? 3-hour-long videos by people sweating in their own faces. They've got one eye going to the shop and you know they smell of like balls.
What's up, Stephen? Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Speaking of which, David, look,
If I want there to be a greater meeting
going on?
All this stuff.
what's up, Aphid?
Oddly enough, I was swimming out in my backyard, and there's this. It's kind of like the bat signal, but it's this bald cunt, and I was like, oh my god, Hayden must be.
It's amazing that Hayden's here. I love it. I'm grin right now. That's just because he's here.
I'm trying to picture what that would look like in the sky. It's not a pretty picture.
No, it's
It's
not.
fucking beautiful.
I want to talk about Live Leak a little bit. You know what, Hayden? It's the weirdest thing on Reddit. I just saw this.
Oh, old school.
Nice. Yeah, like for some reason I saw this post on a Syrian Civil War subreddit, and it was about Live Leak. And so I jumped in and checked it out. And they were asking about what happened to Live Leak and what happened to Hayden. And I jumped in there and I made some comments or whatever. But it was just funny to me that like people are still asking about that to this day.
Oh yeah, I just tell everyone it was the Jews. That's
Well, they already
There's a
know
lot
that.
of questions about what happened to the video, what happened to all this, and I'm like, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I get that. Can I have a copy of the archive? No. Are you mental? What? That's fucking hundreds of terabytes. No. I
Did you keep it?
I don't have anything.
Does anybody? Does it exist?
I imagine, but
Okay.
I will never have access to it. But I was talking to one of the guys just a couple months ago. They're still doing, item fix and doing what they do. And
Yeah.
same thing I ask him every time. Is it time to, bring Ogrish back yet? And then they hang up on me.
I mean, there are sites that are still doing this. I think bestgore.fun and chaotic with a K, no H, are still doing similar stuff, but they can't rub two fucking nickels together with these websites now.
You can't go back in time. You just can't.
Yeah.
No, it was a very special moment.
Yeah, it was of its time, and I think it lasted far longer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Right, and there's only one thing that they can do to get any dough, so you're watching the gore videos, and of course, all around and everywhere popping up is naked people, because porn is the only thing that's going to back them now, unfortunately.
We sold out the internet to social media, and then we were all fucked. And I say we, because we're all guilty. We sold it out for convenience, dude. It's finished. It's
Yeah.
And I know every crypto tard talks to me about Web3, and it's like, oh, fuck off. I heard all this shit with Web2. There was a lot of bollocks as well. Social. We sold out to social, and the landscape changed.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get like blue-haired pricks lecturing me on what Lively was.
I've seen that.
The watermark, the live leak watermark that I come across the most is with the I fart in your face guy. My son even showed me a video the other day.
I remember him. He was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
He was brilliant. I don't bump into much from back then now. Someone called me the other day. He called me an ogrish killer. Like, dude, what, that website shut down in like 2005. It's nearly 20 fucking years ago.
Right.
It's time to let it go.
Mm.
No, Live Leak was awesome. The last few years were a bit bumpy, but
It was
It
so
was
much
awesome, and
It was so much fun.
it
all the,
achieved.
like,
It
adventures
had its
we do
glory,
and
and
the
that
people.
is an amazing thing to get there.
yeah, like I say, I mean,
It was such a cool community. I loved it. I had a lot
It
of fun.
was. I've got more good memories than bad memories.
So the histrionics of it was obviously Ogrish came first. You guys, when you started Ogrish, you had to compile videos,
I
but
didn't start Ogrish. I joined
you joined in with the OG.
about the last year.
I think that's where I found out about Live Leak was on Ogrish.
I did too, and then I searched Ogrish a couple years later, and it gave me like a bizarre redirect, which eventually led me to LiveLeak. But so, was it always intended to be like a user-generated content that people would? Starting with Ogrish into LiveLeak.
Ogrish wasn't. No, Ogrish. We had some user content. We had a lot of journalist content from around the world, and then we just thought that was coming to an end. That it's time to change, because we never liked to be behind the curve. So we also virtually sat and just thought about what we'd like to do, and it was like, well, video is the Web 2 thing, let's do that. That's what we did, and none of us knew what the fuck was going to happen with LiveLeak. None of us had a fucking idea.
It blew up. I mean, it was crazy.
Day one.
It did.
Day one.
Yeah,
Right, it definitely was.
I remember talking to a kid who was in his teens, and I must have been in my early 30s at the time, and I said, hey, have you heard of LiveLeak? He was like, oh, that's where people go to die. And I was like, all right.
Because, as we know, That was just the garden safe section.
Right. That was his perception, though, and he was probably 17 at the time, you know?
One of the actors on in Cara, he was talking to his kid, and he said, you know, I've got horror from his kids, never been impressed. He's been in TV shows or films. He said, yeah, I'm doing it with that guy from, what's it called now? What was the website called now? Not Wikipedia. You know, and he went through like dozens of websites. He went, that one. And
are you WikiLeaks?
one, yeah, WikiLeaks. And like his kid went, no, you're not making a film with the guy from WikiLeaks, Dad. He went, no, Live Leak. And then, now, his kid is 17 and he lost his shit. And he was like, it's all him and all his mates, and all I'm sat there thinking is, oh shit. And more I see people posting like, I loved Live Leak when I was a child. Oh, Christ. What have I done?
When you're a child, when I was a child.
I saw a recently released movie and they had Live Leak in it, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, Live Leak. And it's appeared in multiple movies. I can't remember what it was.
It's a generic name now, isn't it? Like, you know, Uber.
No, but it was Live Leak. They actually showed Live Leak.
Yeah, was that Unfriended or something?
Oh yeah, it was a horror.
I never watched
it.
They emailed us to ask for permission.
Oh, okay, that was probably
we
it.
We did what we usually do. We just ignored them. So they went and did it anyway.
Yeah, it's. You know. I've seen it. I've seen Live Leak appear in not just that one. It's been a few movies.
I think Joe Rogan still mentions it occasionally.
And Rogan has mentioned it. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Cup of Tea says World Star Hip Hop was better.
Cup of tea can suck someone else's arsehole. And I know that's not true because Cup of Tea is a massive racist. Not a chance.
Yeah.
It was on World Star.
The World Star. Known for. Anyways, I'll move on from that.
But I love it when people try and pull me on Twitter as if I should be ashamed of Live Leaks. Like, guys, number one, there's nothing you can say to me that will upset me. I've been doing Live Leak over IRC fucking.
Right.
And I'm immensely proud of what we all did with Live Leak. Live Leak was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
was.
It was cool.
Yeah,
I mean, just saying, you could fucking start it up again. I'm just saying. I know you're not going to. I know you've all kinds of other things going on, but dude, it would be fucking fire. You would get 10 million immediately.
But nobody could afford it.
Right. I know.
That's the truth. There'd be no way of funding it.
Right.
It would be.
What's the difference between now and then with the funding of it?
Advertisers.
Yeah.
They won't go anywhere near it.
It's hard for Twitter to get advertising now.
Although to be fair,
But
in our
did you
defense, there are far more paedophiles, furries, wrongans, fucking porn and everything on Twitter than there ever was on Live Leak. We used to ban the people.
No, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And porn. I mean, everything's there that people lose their shit over.
Yeah. But Live Leak was the bad guy.
Steve, did you turn that fan down?
Can you guys hear it? Is it that loud? The door is shut.
We only comment on the loud ass fan.
Can't hear anything
Right.
about
Can
that.
you guys hear that?
We probably should have said something earlier.
That's new news to me.
Really?
Is it my
Oh,
refrigerator? What the fuck is it, dude?
All I know is when you get muted, we have to make sure we didn't break the system.
All right, let me.
It's that clear when you mute. So turn the fridge
super
off,
clear when you mute.
and we
I don't
can.
think
We'll be able
he's
to.
The fridge has the beer in it, dude. That ain't getting shut off. But
He's got his
No, just a fine point where the noise is coming from. I think it's your extraction fan.
Yeah,
I think.
I was gonna use this video, but it's like.
damn, this fucking microphone picks up everything, yo. All right, let me work this out. All right.
don't, man.
I'm sorry. It is noticeable. Oh yeah.
Did he just leave his headphones right next to his mic as well?
He does that.
All the
At a
time.
certain point, he does that.
Luckily, Last Dance has privileges where he can
I
mute
know.
him.
I know. That's good.
But well played.
Last Dance just told him to get off his lawn, didn't he? There we go.
You're still a boomer, see, Steve. Massive.
Exhaust fan is off. Is that better?
Better, buddy.
Oh, fuck. It's vibrating.
Now all you
you-
have to do, Steve,
Just
all you have to do is stop your chair creaking.
Yeah, I tighten the bolts in the chair too. It's never ending.
Turn yourself down a bit as well, Steve, because you're super loud. It's distorting.
Okay.
Basically, just fuck off, Steve.
If you could
No,
leave, the
you
show
gotta
would be
have
so much better.
See you guys. All right, let's try that for a lower volume. Oh, there's a new feature. Reduce mic background noise. Why didn't they tell me about that? All right, let's try that. Okay.
Wow! 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 The fucking hell!
Amazing
It's like-
technology.
It's amazing.
It must be that alien technology finally making it into.
Technology.
Dude, it's like night and day, Steve. It's not even like-
Yeah, it is different.
It's
It's
like-
like
Well, I'm gonna put myself off and on camera, and when you watch this back a couple of times, right? When you watch this back, now you know where I'm gonna be, right? You listen to the difference. It's like chalk and cheese, all right? So when you play it back, wow.
115. Simple enough.
I'm quite
Wow,
along.
it really-
Either he's videoing from the shitter, or
And then,
He's always like
or
that.
he's in
always
bed.
like that.
and
He's
that's
in
his,
bed.
that's his special roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's
Better
always
off-
like that.
better off
Bates
not
Welshman
knowing
is
all the
always
details.
like that.
at
Okay.
this angle though, you got to admire the cavernous crack
Yeah.
his nose.
It's nostril.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like-
the nostril.
Yo, show
Also-
something cute.
also,
Let's see
hey-
Trigger. Show Trigger.
Also, he looks like
He's got my
JCVD. He
Trigger,
looks
come
like
up here.
Van Damme. He looks
Jimmy
like
Hop
Van
was
Damme.
hiding up in that nose.
Up.
He does.
He's just-
He does look a little like him.
He's asleep, you my feet
All
here.
right, it's okay. Don't wake him
Well,
up.
less or so these days.
Look who it is.
Topple.
Pacific. Oh, who do we have? Oh, he's a cyclist. Hayden, your favorite. He rides bikes.
Hey, what's up, cyclist?
How you doing, Topper? How you doing,
Oh,
mate?
buddy.
That's Greg Topple. There he
I
is.
know.
You remember?
Yeah.
And Goon.
Unfortunately.
What's up, Goon?
What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing?
Good evening, sir.
You're all right.
Awesome. Awesome.
We got a fire in the background or something.
We got Hayden Hewitt here with us.
Hayden, how do you
Amazing.
feel? I mean, you
Such a
started
cool
this
thing.
like 3 years ago. It's gone to a different channel, and it's still going
I
on
love
every
it.
single
I love
Saturday.
it. I was saying that before. This makes me so happy. You know.
You should see Biscuit Face. I wish he was here. Oh my gosh, he's
Oh,
half of what he used to be.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah. I just
Talk
saw
to
him
me
the last week. Yeah.
I talk to him on Twitter sometimes, but I know he's lost a ton of weight.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
he's like a different person.
It's a bit like that Mike just now. It's a bit like, honestly, he's transformed himself. So
Yeah, I don't like it. Pretty soon, I'll be the fat guy.
It shows
That'd be my
that
job.
all you have to do is change, like,
Come on,
your
Last Dance.
habits and
More beans, more rice. Let's go. Come on.
Hayden might go back up again. You won't be the only one.
It wouldn't surprise. No, well, yeah, I've got time. Christmas is coming up, so
There you go.
I'll stack a few pounds on. Yeah,
I'm
no
sure you
problem.
talked about the movie thing, but is it almost? Are you wrapping up, or is it still heavy?
Shooting wrapped. We shot in May, 2 weeks. Since then, I've done the first edit. We're doing the second next week, and then it's going to music, sound design, and probably a color grade, and then I'll top and tail it for end of August.
How long
then,
of a movie is it?
it's 90 minutes.
Wow! And how will we be able to over here in the States be able to view it when it comes out?
Well, I don't know. We've got some guys on board now to do all the PR and all the festivals and try and get a sale.
Right.
Distributors.
So that's the point. So it could be like another year or two or something before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Easily.
Or
Well,
you
good
just
luck,
leak it to
good
me.
luck with it, man. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Did you say 2 weeks you filmed? That's it?
Yeah, we shot
90 minutes of content in 2 weeks seems incredibly fast.
with a cast of 20 people.
Damn. How many hours a day were you filming?
More than everyone wanted to.
Fuck, dude. I mean, you hear movies taking 6 months of filming to make. 2 weeks seems incredible.
It's scale and budget, isn't it? And also,
Right,
I only shoot what I need. I don't just continuously shoot everything over and over, every different angle, I shoot what I want and what I know I need, because I edit the film in my head before we even shoot it. But I'm sure as budgets go up, I'll spend more time fucking around with things and indulge the director of photography more because, man, I tortured that poor bastard on Cara. So
Cool.
he was beside himself most of the time. So hopefully on the next film maybe we'll go for 3 weeks and he can breathe out.
Hey, do you consider yourself like a horror genre director?
Well, Cara is definitely a horror film. The next one, I don't know if it qualifies. I think it qualifies. The one we're supposed to shoot after that definitely won't be. But yeah, I'd make horror films all the time if I could. Depends what idea comes up, you know. The next film is we've already made a short at the end of last year of this film, and although it cost us a lot of money, we liked it so much we're going to just go and make the feature-length version, and we'll use the short to send to distributors, and then if we sell the film, we'll stick it on as an extra. So it was a film called Uncle Jack, which is about mistaken identity and online grooming, not pedo grooming, but grooming, and yeah, it's pretty dark. It's pretty tragic. I don't think it's a horror film. I'm not sure. If someone thinks it can be. I don't really mind. And then there's a really surreal comedy to make probably after that, probably late next year, early 25. And then there's another couple of ideas still after that. So
cool.
We've got a lot planned.
It's epic, man.
I like it. I like what you do, regardless.
Yeah, just to mention about the Sound of Freedom movie.
That's the one.
Look at this. It's on my notes. Sound of Freedom. I wrote that shit down to talk about.
I think Jim Caviezel is batshit fucking mental.
What?
But he's a very good actor, and I can ignore the politics and enjoy the film. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to see if there was anywhere in the UK, and I really couldn't find anything apart from Ipswich.
Oh, it's not for ages yet. It won't get much of a release for quite a while. But I will watch it, and
I've seen it.
Yeah, what did you think?
It was okay.
Not great.
No, it was.
It's 5 years old already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite old.
Yeah, it took a couple of years, like you said, to get out.
It is a movie that has drama, and it will hold your attention.
That'll do. I don't often ask much more from a film, to be honest. Because I know Tom Six still can't get his new film released, and I think that's about 5 years now.
What's that subject matter?
The Onania Club is about a group of elite women who get off on the pain and misfortune of others.
Huh.
And it goes into a lot of the conspiracy stuff.
Sounds like feminism.
I've not. No, it's no. But I've not watched it yet. Apparently, there's another batch of links going out, and I'm on the batch after that to see it. So I'm looking forward to that because I like Tom.
Jesus, that seems complicated. Go ahead, speak, Gooner.
No, we can't hear him.
We can't hear you. You are correct. We're not ignoring you, my man.
Sorry, dude.
Just show your Tim Henson fucking Ibanez, and we'll all be happy. Here we go. Look at this thing, Hayden.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Thicker neck, he says, more like a Strat, and double humbucker. Beautiful guitar. Tim Henson making a good couple of dollars for Ibanez and himself with that thing.
I regret selling my old RG 750 or 760. I can't remember what it was now, but I sold it. I had to sell it because I bought a Wolfgang. I've got a one-off PV Wolfgang.
Music Man?
No, PV Wolfgang.
Okay.
Yeah, it belonged to a friend of mine that desperately wanted it, and I've still got it. So it's a one of one special, and it was a special paint job for NAMM.
Damn.
So it's got a odd serial number, but yeah, I sold my 750 and a Les Paul to buy that.
Oh man, you had a Les Paul?
Yeah, I didn't care for it very much.
Which version did you have?
Standard.
Standard American made?
Yeah. You felt cool when you were playing it, but I didn't like the guitar very much. So
Burstbuckers or P90s? Do you know?
Oh no, humbuckers. I wouldn't use a P90. I don't like P90s.
You don't? Okay.
No. Single coils or humbuckers. P90s just. I've never liked a guitar they've been on. Weirdly.
They get so. I've never played one, but it's like the legendary pickup.
Yeah,
P90.
it's a legendary pickup that only allows you to do about 2 genres of shit music. So
Can you hear me now?
yes,
I can hear you.
Nice.
I can hear you.
You're back. Did you just do Schwarzenegger?
Well, yeah, we were watching Total Recall tonight, so I'm going to be doing a lot of Schwarzenegger.
You said that was like one of your
And not you,
favorite movies.
you
I
and me.
think. You picked that as the best Schwarzenegger movie, I believe, last week.
Did I?
That's
We just
insane, dude.
watching it tonight. Yeah, I was scanning movies in our
That's a good
Plex
film.
server, and I just chose that, and we were watching.
Better than Terminator?
Just watch that as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about that. You're right. That's right.
No, wait, not better than Terminator, and I would even argue not better than T2.
oh, it's way better than T2. That's dog shit.
Wait, what?
Total Recall is an amazing movie.
No,
It
we're
really
gonna have
is.
fights now, Hayden.
No shit wears off.
T2 is
It's like the black.
fucking
It's like the Black album from Metallica when it came out. It was amazing. Now
I
look
agree
back-
with you.
Yeah.
Now I look
Dude.
back and I realize.
No, I agree with you.
I understand
Yeah,
that
stuff wears off.
T2
I agree
makes
with you
no
on that.
fucking sense.
Some things stand up.
But it's brilliant.
T2 was cool because of the part when she killed the father of Edward Furlong in the kitchen by putting the fucking needle through the orange juice container and then through his throat, like from her finger or whatever. That was
Well, if
fucking.
that's how we're going to judge films, then Rambo 4 is the best film ever made.
You know what? An observation I actually made earlier today
Birdemic.
that's similar
Masterpiece.
is that like 90s action films don't really hold up when you go back and watch them, a lot of them, but like 80s action films definitely do. 80s
The
schlock,
90s the
like
90s
Commando
was
and shit
kind
like
of a
that
lost-
holds
Commando.
up perfectly. It's like
Oh,
so
it-
good still.
Isn't he talking about a sequel to Commando now?
No, that would be
No
horrible.
way.
You cannot do
No,
it. It's like,
you-
let that be what it was.
An
Just one
80-year-old
and
man in
done.
Speedos rowing his boat.
Yeah. All suntanned and wrinkly like leather. Like
Leathery, yeah. Like a
Yeah,
wool.
let's remember the GE minigun on low fires 2,000 rounds a minute, and Jesse Ventura was carrying one on his back and in his arms. That fucking thing must weigh, I don't even know. 1 minute, 2,000 bullets. How much do those weigh?
yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean-
Jesse Ventura,
Yeah,
it's fine.
but to fire a gun like that, you have to scream your arse off. Like, just go, ah!
Yeah, and then he got fucking blown away. It was
Dude,
pathetic. He just
I love
got
that
wasted.
movie. That movie is so amazing. Predator holds up to this day. You can still watch it and be
Yes.
like, damn, that's such a good
I'm
movie.
so old I saw that at the cinema.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
how
me
old
too.
I am.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
My dad took me.
You're
love
50.
Predator. I love Predator. I love Predator 2. Really.
Oh, me
like
too.
Predator
I love
2.
it. Predator 2 is a great movie.
amazing.
And
People
all
It's
the
say
very
rest-
good.
hate it, but I love it. It's such
Oh,
a great
Predator 2.
Eddie
Yeah,
Glover's
yeah,
amazing in
people,
it.
people go, oh no, Predator 2, oh, no, that's fucking-
I know. I don't
It's
get
got
it
Scary
either.
Beauty
What-
in it.
what?
It's got
Scary
Bill
Beauty.
Paxton.
Glover with the biggest fucking hand cannon you can imagine
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
America.
Bill Paxton gets killed by the Predator. He
That's
also
right.
gets killed by the Terminator and the Alien.
It's
Right.
That's awesome.
And let's not forget the weird Jamaican bad guys in Predator
Oh
2.
yeah, King Willie.
Yeah.
God bless King
No
Willie.
stopping what can't be stopped. No killing what can't
Yeah,
be
dude,
killed.
I was just going to quote that. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, it's an Ice Cube song, which I also listen to all the time.
I
when
was
was
Such
young.
a good
I
song.
went at a film festival. It was a horror film festival, Black Sunday, and they had Predator 2 on. And you can imagine, like, such a film like that, watching it with a few hundred other genre fans. That
Mhm.
was an epic night.
Oh,
I remember that, Exorcist 3 at Black Sunday, and Darkman. They're my best experiences
Mm.
at cinema.
Darkman is
Oh,
amazing.
Darkman's
I'm
great.
not
Yeah, another great one. Yeah, I
know
love
about
it.
that movie.
Yeah.
Let's not
My-
forget.
my best friend at the time when we were kids. He and I love that movie.
Darkman's wonderful. Wonderful.
Fucking great movie.
In Predator 2, real quick, it did start to give us a little of the history. Remember when they're in the secret special ops trailer and they start to talk about how they've been tracking this thing through all the conflicts in history, that it seemed like the Predator was showing up like to war zones, whatever it was, places of conflict. That started to give you a little like inkling of, oh wow, cool, this is deeper than Predator 1 and 2.
Right.
And then it came on that they brought the aliens into it as it went on to further sequels, right?
And Predator 2 they did.
Yeah.
All that
That's
happened
the
in
skull.
Predator 2. All that with the throwing of the gun and
The
when
skull.
he got into the ship and the skulls, which was cool because there was already a Dark Horse comic series going on, Aliens vs Predator, which I was into as a kid.
Fucking great, yes.
Yeah, and I remember hearing on the radio when I was a really young kid, they were talking about an Aliens vs Predator movie, and like that ended up coming out forever later when I was an adult, and it sucked. It was just like, how could you fuck that up? Like that whole universe is awesome. There's so
was it AVP? What's it called? AVP?
Yeah, AVP. And not only that, but like there was novels of aliens, which I used to read also. I read all the aliens novels that were out at the time.
Yeah.
And there were such cool stories they could have made movies about, but instead the crap that comes out, that we get.
But
I don't know.
Going back to Darkman, wasn't it Sam Raimi's, he wanted to make a movie about the Shadow.
Yeah.
The old school.
Somebody did. It was horrible.
No, he wanted to, just
radio.
wouldn't have been allowed
No.
to.
They did that with fucking, what's the guy who shot the person in the face and got away with murder. But anyway, but they wanted to do he wanted to do a movie about the Shadow, and he couldn't do it, so he's just like, right, I'm going to make a parody of the Shadow.
Yeah,
what the fuck you guys?
And it turned out to be awesome.
Yes.
I tell you what, I didn't like. Speaking about Raimi, even though he didn't make it, it wasn't a bad film. But Evil Dead Rise.
Oh,
I can't help thinking that the 2013 remake-ish one was far better.
Yes.
Far
Thank you.
better.
Somebody who agrees with me.
Oh, mate, that had a great atmosphere.
And the blood.
Yeah, because everyone says it's no good because it wasn't a comedy, but the original Evil Dead wasn't meant to be a comedy. It just had shit acting.
It was meant to be serious. It was shit acting.
Yeah.
They realized, all right, this is great. Okay, we'll make it a comedy on number 2, which they remade. It was just
But Evil Dead Rise was, you could tell
The
that was
original-
made for streaming. You could
the
just
original
tell.
remake was better. I will agree that.
I
did not
Evil
like the
Dead
new one.
2
I
is
didn't
the
really like it.
Best Evil Dead ever, in my opinion.
Which one?
I love the originals. I love Evil Dead, and
is the best because it's a reimagining.
I love
of the
them.
first movie, but it's batshit insane.
The other one,
And
the remake is okay. I kind of liked it. It was okay, but
It was dark. I like that about it. We don't get
Yeah.
that a lot with films
It was
now.
dark and bloody. It was just like it
Nasty.
wasn't afraid of
Pretty
showing
gruesome.
gore.
Yeah.
Although-
She's covered in blood at the end of the movie. And
can I be honest though? I gotta say I really kind of dislike the modern kind of like horror. Most people that are into horror, so-called horror, right now, it's all about like the gore and like almost like torture and
Nothing wrong with that.
sadomasochism kind of
Wild.
stuff. I'm not into it myself. I'm like, I love horror, but like, it seems like that's what people like these days.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I hate hearing my own voice.
I think
Smokesteve's pulling out the A game with Hayden in town tonight.
when they call things elevated.
It's a good
horror.
stream. You got the man.
Yeah, elevated horror pisses me off now.
Good evening, all.
How you doing,
Lee, how's
Hi, Lee.
Good to see you, Lee.
Hiya.
Something
You're right.
Good to see you, buddy.
I've got up especially because Hayden's on. Do you know, tonight I was so tired. And I've been listening. I just thought, I've got to come on. I can't give up this opportunity. How often do we see this man? Great to see you, Hayden. Really is.
Good to see you too, fella. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good.
Good.
Who's Aiden?
Lee made it. Lee made it to. You made it to a meat. Was it Meat Space, Lee?
Meat Space, yeah. Which was a really good night. Really good. Really enjoyed it. So
We would have had another one had it not been for COVID.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you believe it, huh? They actually restricted you. Like, you would have been breaking the law if you gathered people over, filmed it, and put it on the internet. Boom, you're convicted of something, right? What would it have been?
A fine.
A fine. Yeah.
I was arrested for being in public during COVID.
And quite right
Well,
too.
yeah,
but, not for being Welsh.
Naked baseball.
I was in England at the time, right? I wasn't supposed to leave
Well,
my
in that
country.
case, mate. In that case, mate, fair fucks. I don't see a problem.
Yeah,
with
no, we should fucking shoot you.
I didn't listen to any of it. I'd done what I wanted to do, and I didn't get convicted, but yeah, I did what I wanted to do.
Well, you have to pay anything?
Yeah, well, the process is the punishment, isn't it? It took 10 months, and it was just a lot of nonsense.
A lot of anal. For 10
Double.
He took it in each nostril.
Nostril, right? Obviously. That's funny shit, bro.
Yeah, speakers corner. I got nicked. Hayden, speakers corner. Funny.
I just, I've got a wife and kid. I just stayed. Well, I stay at home anyway. My life barely changed. Apart from I spent more time queuing at supermarkets.
Right.
Apart from that, my life changed very little.
Well, weren't you guys supposed to go out on your front steps and clap every day for the NHS? I'm sure Hayden.
Oh, I was all over that shit, yeah. I was fucking all over, especially when they just killed my mother-in-law. Yeah, I was
right
for that. Fuck them.
I remember.
People. Now they're on strike and they want like a 60% pay rise. That's nice.
Hey, what was her name? Angela Rayburn? Was that her name? Did she ever answer one of your tweets?
she still doesn't answer me once a year. I remind her what a useless, worthless bitch she is, but she doesn't seem to want to engage me for some reason.
She's an MP.
Yeah, well, yeah. For now, she's now the deputy leader of the Labour Party.
I was going to say she's pretty high up there.
Yeah, so she's far too important to deal with the likes of me.
Did she play? Did she play? And she got bit back. Did she quite hard?
She was just not a lot of help when she really could have been a lot of help. And yeah, just a miserable cunt.
Well,
you went old school and contacted your local politician to say, "Can you help me here?"
I didn't just contact my local. I contacted politicians 20 miles around. The mayor of Manchester gave me a phone call after my mother-in-law died, but he annoyed me because he was trying to be a bit sweary and down with the common people with me.
Oh,
it's like, dude, I don't want to be your fucking friend. I want you to do something.
Right.
Yeah, what's the name of the mayor of Manchester?
Andy Burnham.
That's it, Andy Burnham. Sorry, I forgot his name.
They did
I used to go to school with a kid called Burnham.
Well, they gave us a vote years ago. Do you want an elected mayor? And we all said no. Why? No. So they said, oh, that's good. So you're going to have an elected mayor.
Mm.
And then we ended up with this prick. And it's just, I don't know. But it was the way I just felt so insulted. It was trying to be sweary and, yeah, I'm down on the level. It's like, no, you're not. You're a politician. You're part of the Labour Party. You were responsible for the NHS at a time when they killed lots of people, you fucking prick. Yeah, I don't want your friend.
They wanted harder lockdowns as well. They wanted harder lockdowns. Sorry.
That's okay. They were killing people by not providing medical care.
There was a massive scandal at hospital long before COVID when he was in charge of things.
Okay.
But he doesn't like to be reminded of it.
Hayden, I mean, even the scandal of COVID got to me because I remember like one of my relatives dying. And they were like, oh, well, we'll put it down to COVID. And it's like, no, he's dying of cancer, bro. Like, he fucking got it everywhere. And they're like, oh, no, COVID. It's fine.
If I said Midazolam to you, Hayden, would that be concerning your mother-in-law, or would it, or not?
Midazolam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the doctor wouldn't go and see her. And I said, but it's pneumonia. He's like, well, you don't know that, doctor. I said, it's pneumonia. It's the same as last time. You just get some antibiotics around to her at least, because they wouldn't take her into hospital. The doctor wouldn't go around, but they did manage to send a nurse with end-of-life drugs around.
Oh, that's Midazolam.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't even think they got to those. I don't even think they got to them. So
Damn, dude, it's terrible.
yeah, it was brutal. But what can you do? What can you do? It's life.
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, sorry, just for the Americans, Midazolam was Nick Hancock, the health secretary at the time, bought the biggest amount of Midazolam in the history of ever
in the history
UK.
of buying drugs.
Midazolam, yeah. And they bought it, I think it was April or March of 2020. And yeah, a lot of old people died in hospital and in homes, and they were bringing in infected people into the homes as well. The homes were in lockdown, and they had no choice. They were given no choice. They had to take people. It was just like just crazy shit going on, and then of course it flooded the whole home. Then didn't it? It just went through the whole place.
As much as I hate to interrupt a conversation about euthanizing old people.
Yes.
Drone Tech, who are you debating, dude?
Some guy's supposed to come debate me over on my Discord server here. So
are you gonna smash the shit out of him? Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see if he even shows up actually, because
call his mother a cunt.
His name's Dark Brandon. He seems. I did a little. I did a little test debate with him, and he seems a little unhinged, and when he laughed, he sounded like the Joker. So
he's a child molester.
This guy might.
Wait, man, let's not be throwing stones.
Child molester.
Actually, I'm gonna hang out until he actually shows up. So I'm in my. Right now, I'm waiting for him in my channel. He knows I'm waiting, so when he shows up, I'll leave. But
talking about degenerates,
tell him. Hayden says, and if he says who's Hayden, it's the guy that knows you're a child molester.
He sounds like it's possible. The dude sounds a little out there.
Dark Brandon, definitely.
Dark Brandon. That's a good one.
I don't.
That's edgy.
Is the name based on the Let's Go Brandon?
I don't get this.
I don't know.
It's a widely thing. I'm not.
No, I have my own thing.
It's this is his Discord, but you should see this guy, Liberal Cluck, he debates sometimes. Liberal Cluck goes up against like 15 conservatives just shitting all over him, and he fucking, he stands up to you guys at least.
Guy. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, man, I prefer, like, if I'm going at it, I prefer to have like just as many people that hate what I'm saying as possible.
Me too. I love my views to be challenged. I want to be right. I'm looking for the truth.
I don't debate anyone
anymore. Unfortunately, you say things that I agree with.
Sorry.
Hayden, can I just ask you? You know, like everything that was going on in the past in terms of having the YouTube channel, what made you move into movies? Was there always a desire there to do that? Or?
Oh, I've always been involved in that in somewhat. Like as a kid, that's what I did.
Really?
He's been in the porn industry for 10 years.
No, I was offered the opportunity,
receiving end,
and I would not. Filming, not I don't have the prerequisite equipment to be in porn. But no, I was offered years ago. I was offered the opportunity to move into that industry, but I wouldn't do it because once you put your toe in it, you're tainted for life. And I don't like the industry. I've never met anyone I like in that industry ever. But the film, it just the opportunity. It didn't just fall in my lap, but the planets aligned in such a way that we could make it possible. So I grabbed it with both hands because life's too short not to do that.
I was trying to say earlier that one of my favorite things that you did was the is it teeth or something? The guy who swallows. Yes, lips.
Yeah.
Fucking
amazing. Not a bad guess though, Pete.
I don't think many Americans might get that, but
I saw it.
I liked it. I
think you've got an advantage if you're British and of an age that you remember Tales of the Unexpected.
Yes.
Tales from the Crypt.
No,
No.
Tales from the Unexpected.
Well, I've got to be honest. I don't worry. I can't think about things like I come up with a story like that was written.
I'm sucking your dick right now, but
Yeah, that was somebody
that was
else's.
amazing.
That was somebody else's story. Day. I just rewrote it, and it was a huge amount of fun to make. It was difficult to make.
I bet. Yeah.
I'm not eating sun-dried tomatoes ever after that.
Someone mentioned to me, like, I find the sun-dried tomatoes thing very hard to believe. It's like, what? But everything before that's fine. Yeah.
Right.
The pair of lips on the cushion talking to him. That's fine.
It was cool. I mean, you could have had those guys sitting and talking in that bar for 40 minutes, and it would have been entertaining.
You know. Did.
Yeah, it was. Were they drinking just like? Here's a little insider stuff. Like on Cheers, supposedly it was carbonated apple juice. What were they drinking in the bar scenes?
For beer, we use shandy.
Okay, non-alcoholic.
A little bit of lager and a lot of lemonade.
Okay.
And for the whiskey, I think that it was originally going to be iced tea, but that had caffeine, and James Dreyfus doesn't do caffeine. So I think he ended up with apple juice.
Yeah, no, I used to be
Interesting.
a guy who tried to look cool by drinking out of a Jack Daniel's bottle, but it was filled with apple juice.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, that's a good segue.
You're not cool, mate. You're not fucking cool.
Well, that's a good segue. I always wondered, like, fucking Tommy Lee from Motley Crue in the 80s downing a fucking fifth of Jack on stage.
I believe
Fake or real?
Yeah, no, real.
Probably real.
Going back to the Tales of the Unexpected, when I was at school, we got...
Okay, back to that.
Yeah, just for a second.
How much whiskey did you drink at school?
Quite a bit. No, I didn't. No, I had to write. We had to write this story. Be creative, write this story, and I'll never forget Tales of the Unexpected because I'd watched an episode like the Sunday before this we had to do this, where the woman kills her husband and then feeds it to the police, and then somebody finds like the end of a finger and some mashed potato, and she gets nicked. So
imagine missing the fingertip.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, too right. And so I thought this was great. So I just pure plagiarism. So I got my essay back with I have a TV and watch Tales of the Unexpected 2 failed. So shit, she'd watched it.
I think I had more arguments about that film because normally, like when I'm running a set, I run a very chilled set. No stamping around, no shouting. It's just not allowed. But I remember one of them, Daz. He's not with Black Octopus anymore. But one was the guy that wrote it, David Hales. He sent in this old screenplay he had, and it was much longer, and it went on far too long. And a lot of it was a great short story, but it wasn't a screenplay yet.
Right.
So, because Daz is really good friends with him, I said, I'm gonna have to rewrite some of this dialogue because I love writing dialogue, and I'm gonna cut the last 30 pages out. And he was like, well, you can't do that. I said, oh, yeah, I am, definitely. And luckily, the writer was fine with it. The only thing he wanted, he said, there is one thing I must insist on. And I said, well, he said, when James Dreyfus's character says, oh, really? Or somebody's got to go, oh, really? I went, yeah, we'll definitely do that. We did not do that. And the other one was the landlady scene, because I wrote that in just to break it up a bit. And I had a massive argument with Daz and the writer. And what it boiled down to in the end was, well, I'm fucking doing it anyway. So, suck it up. And
they didn't like it.
No, and I think there was just a bit of protection. It's the normal thing. It was just a little bit of friction. But
is that common in all of it?
I guess it can be. I don't know, because with Kara, I wrote it and directed it, so there's only myself to argue with, really. Oh, I'm a director of photography, obviously, but
I would have loved to seen you arguing with James Dreyfus.
Oh, we argue constantly
on set. I would love to.
No, on set we don't argue.
Scenes DVD special.
Yeah. James was only on Kara for a few days. Obviously, he was being an absolute madam, because that's what he chooses to do as soon as he's got an audience.
Right.
I don't argue on set. If I've got to have a word with someone, we go away from everybody and have a chat, and then
Yeah.
I don't do that stamping around and demanding of people. And I try to. It sounds really corny. I try and create a really, really creative space for everybody, so I get the best out of everybody. Therefore, my film's better.
Do you think, Hayden? Do you think you're like easy to work with as a director, or difficult, like from an actor's perspective?
From an actor's perspective, I'm probably very good because I work a lot with them. I love working with actors. And I do everything I can to give them all the tools to do their job and give them some of their own space in it as well. I'm really big on that.
Sure. So it's like a musician. You allow
them guidance at the end of the day, though. Surely you can't go. Just be you.
No, it doesn't quite work like that. It depends. Like, let's say if it's the lead, Elle, who played Kara, we spoke for weeks before the film. I gave her all the background, only her, because I gave everyone information on their characters, and they weren't allowed to tell each other. Just little things to play some games and stuff. But she knew her character's entire life. She had her own ideas for it, and we worked it up. So when you get to set, you know, she wouldn't turn around and say, "What would Kara do?" Because my answer would always be, "Why the fuck are you asking me?" You know, it's yours now. It's yours.
Yeah, right.
Your character, not
you know that character backwards now. You don't need me to tell you,
right?
Because I think I don't like giving actors too many notes. You know, I like to see where things develop, and it makes it more interesting. It makes it a better performance if they can own it.
Yeah, it's interesting because with music, like, the musician creates the music and the song. Obviously, the engineers, the producers, everybody assists in the background. But with acting, there's far more interaction and creation between the people behind camera and the people on.
And I think some people are more creative in the respect of you, Hayden, that lets them have some sort of freedom. Whereas, no, you've got to stick to the script.
Well, I think both are valid. That's just the way I'm more comfortable directing. I think there's two approaches, really. There's this is my vision and it will be realized. Or there's this is my vision, transcend it. And I try to work in the second one. It's not that I lack confidence or I don't have a vision. It's just that I enjoy the process of working with other people.
So when you're directing with somebody that makes, have you ever like an actor that will maybe they go off script a bit, a little bit of ad libbing, and you're like, oh yeah, I like that. Or
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as you hit the points I need you to hit, you know, you have to hit the plot points. You can't just go off base. But I mean, all actors are different. Like Bruce Jones, who I worked with in the short Uncle Jack, and it looks like he's coming back to do the feature of it. He likes it when I'm really close and I can look him right in the eyes, you know, and we interact and talk about the character. But someone like James doesn't need as much of that. You don't. You work. Every actor works a little bit differently, and you've got to figure that out really, 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 really quickly. Who likes what and how you work with them. With James, you have little chats and you give notes if things need correcting. Apart from that, you leave him to it because James, I know he got famous doing all these camp characters and things, but he's a phenomenal actor. He's a ridiculously good actor, and it's a lot of fun watching him work with other actors.
He's a silly guy. Yeah. Which is funny. He's
like
in Lips.
Incredibly serious.
Yeah,
in Lips. Shit that I've seen him in.
I mean,
I mean acting, yes, but when you follow him on Twitter and social media with his dogs and shit, he's funny as hell. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
He's a lovely guy to be around as well.
That's not his acting career, you know.
Yeah.
Right. I think
he's really silly in camp, but he can also be incredibly serious. From what
Let me tell you how good James is, and we've not really spoke about this outside, but one of the actors had problems with his lines. The guy that played opposite James.
Mm-hmm.
And, James's role in Lips for most of it was his reactions. And to give good reactions, actors feed off each other.
Yeah.
James was getting fuck all from this other guy apart from the top of his head because he was reading. So every reaction and everything is just James has created that out of whole cloth. And that's incredibly hard to do. And he just monstered it. Bang, 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 bang. Bruce Jones is another one like that. And he had a lot of problems, but on set, just a
Isn't
pro.
James a theatrical actor as well, though? Doesn't he?
He doesn't do theatre anymore. No, doesn't do
He used
theatre.
to, though.
I think he just, for whatever reasons, he just stepped away from it years ago, and it's not his thing.
I thought his wife was
Well, I guess like being
good in Let's.
Guy, they would want him to do gay roles, and he'd be pissed off with that.
Yeah, he won't do camp anymore.
Like gimme, gimme, gimme. Like
no, he won't do that.
We
anymore.
want you to play that character.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it still happens, but he won't do it. He's not interested now.
Nah, he's
no, I mean, I've been really blessed with actors. I must admit.
You have, yeah.
On Kara, the cast was fucking incredible. You know,
who's the woman who plays Kara?
Elle O'Hara. She sent. I remember we got some self tape because Michaela did the casting, and she got self tapes in. And I watched Elle's self tape, and I don't put a lot of information with the sides, the bits of the script that you send out for me to read, because I like to just see what they do. Because I'm not judging them completely on a self tape. But she sent this self tape in, and I asked Michaela, like, did you send her the full script? Because that was quite layered. And then she came down all the way up from London to do her auditions, and she was the first one of the day, and she was fucking incredible. And basically fucked it for everyone else that whole day because I knew she was going to be Kara, but I had to see everybody because they put the work in, and they were all good. There were no bad ones that get to audition stage.
I mean, like, for someone who doesn't know, it's like, what do you do to go to wow somebody? You don't go up there and do fucking jazz hands and, like, you're not singing. No. And they're not going to impress you with some overtly, like, Shakespearean acting. It's a subtle thing for you to say they're amazing.
But how do you get somebody like the dude from Unseen?
He'd never taken the lead of a film before.
Really? But he stole that.
Yeah, well, I had auditions for that, and there were technically some better actors that turned up, but I wanted him.
How do you know that that's the right guy? Because he was basically the only one that taught almost
several things. It's the read that they give, and it's auditions with me. The reading is the least of what we do. I like to chat with them and talk to them and get a feel for them. And do I want to work with them? And him, I did. But strangely, we were ready to. Unseen was going to be the first film we shot, but his mum died.
Oh,
so. That's
the guy with the beard?
Yeah, that's why the film's dedicated to her.
Oh,
so what happened is we said, okay, we'll take some time. He said, no, look, I'm quitting acting. So we went and made Elbows, and we finished that. And like Ken and Daz were like, we've got to get on scene now. I'm like, I know. We need to recap. And I don't know why. I just said, give it another 2 weeks. I don't know why. When you feel something's the right thing to do.
Fair enough,
and then I got a phone call off him saying, look, is it still available? I want to do it. And I said, yeah. And that was his first lead role. And then he came back to be in the short we just made, Uncle Jack. He's got a great part in that, which people may never see now. But because I don't know if he's going to, I don't know if he's going to be in the feature version. But I imagine we'll give the short away as a DVD extra or something like that.
Hey Hayden, on the Carla video film, it's like everyday.
Carla?
What's it called again? Sorry.
Cara.
Carla's part 2. Her little sister. She goes fucking crazy.
Cara, like every day can't be a good day. What was the worst day of filming and why?
I don't even know if I can tell that story. Yeah, I can. Fuck it.
Go on.
It's not that. I don't usually like speaking ill of anyone that worked on the film. It was the day the sound man realized at 11 o'clock he had problems with his batteries, didn't tell us, and then
Graham.
No, the sound guy on Cara. Graham was producing it, and he didn't have a mains cable for his equipment, so we were shut down for about 2.5 hours on location.
Oh no!
And I don't lose my shit on set. I never do. So okay, take care of it. My AD was fucking brilliant. He was on 2 phones at once trying to get more equipment. And I went outside and I phoned Graham, and something was stressing Graham, so I've got Graham screaming at me as well. I think I just say, you've got to stop this now, mate. You've got to stop now. I'm just about keeping it together. So there was a big thing like, right, you've got to sack him. I said, I'll sack him. I said, no, I'll see, because it's up to, even though I had a producer, it's up to me if anyone gets sacked or not. And I slept on it, and the next day I said, no, I'm not sacking him. We've only got 3-4 days left. We're going to go with it.
I bet you wish you sacked him, didn't you?
No, I definitely don't, and for a very good reason. We finished it. There was another problem where he lost some files, and for 2 days, the IT guy and him were trying to find them, and it took me turning around on a set and being direct.
What's his real name? Lucky.
But he found the files.
Right.
But the main reason I'm glad I didn't sack him, for all the problems I had with him, was I was doing the edit for the film, and there was a day's audio missing. Now, it wasn't the sound guy, it was the digital transfer guy. And I rang him
Son
up.
Of a bitch!
I said, where's my audio? He went, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's like, no, it's not a mistake. This will kill the film. It was
it gone forever or just somewhere else?
I rang up the sound guy and he said, yeah, I've still got all that, mate. I'll send it to you.
Boom.
Now, if I'd have sacked him,
yeah,
he would have deleted the shit out of that, because I know I would have. So not sacking him saved the film.
Yeah.
So that was a. Although there were difficult days with effects and things like that, and there were no easy days, but they were all good days. So, and what a group! What crew! They were fucking incredible.
That's I've heard stories of that with. It's more so with music when somebody fucks up a track, but yeah, if you film something and then it gets lost and it's absolutely epic and you can't get it right, it's like that's crazy.
Was a hugely important scene. It wasn't one I could just edit around. It was like
sure.
We need to refilm this.
Yeah, and we couldn't have done that. That would have cost thousands and thousands of pounds.
Wow.
You got to rent all the camera equipment. You got to hope you can get the same crew. You got to get all the actors up there. It's thousands.
Just to reshoot one scene.
Well, because that's a day. That's a day, no matter what you do.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Yeah, sure. That's why you keep it a super tight schedule and you jam it all in 2 weeks. And then if outside of that 2 weeks you have to reconvene that whole fucking group, huge money.
The 2 weeks was too tight. That, like some of these bigger movies, they only take like a month to film. But
no. Those big Marvel movies.
Studio.
Those big Marvel movies, they're lucky if they shoot a page a day.
Yeah, but they just do it within like 2 weeks.
No, they do it within at least 6 months. They shoot.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying the shooting doesn't take.
No, the shoot takes forever. Takes forever.
Yeah. I heard that it takes like a month or maybe 2.
I think
the rest of it is all like editing in the
4 or 5 months of that. You're looking at a year for one of those films, minimum a year to 18 months in total. It's like The Frighteners with Peter Jackson. They were shooting that for nearly 9 months.
Damn.
Frighteners.
Yeah, that was months and months and months.
You know what I just read a story about the shooting of? The American movie Midnight Run was actually pretty complicated, and there was a ton of different locations across the country, obviously, and what a great movie. Kind of a hidden gem, I think.
Beautiful film.
I don't know about you, Hayden, but I heard like getting locations is a difficult thing.
It can be awful.
It's like you can only film there for so long, and then
mate, we were trying to get a park bench,
and then if you need to fucking shoot something, you have to go to a place that looks similar because you can't go back there.
Depends. We wanted a park, and we got onto Manchester City Council, and for 4 hours they wanted to charge us £600.
Oh my god!
What an hour
for 4 hours?
Jesus Christ! It's a film in a park,
and we had to limit the amount of crew we had there, or the price went up.
Fuck me.
So I said to Graham, "No, fuck them. Go and talk to that place, that pub around the corner that's got the interesting garden out the back." And we went and spoke to them, and they did it for 50 quid. And they were fucking awesome. But you got to save money. You've got to save money on these films.
No, but I love that story though.
And I just get so fucking cross. I get so fucking cross that it's like, no, I'll cut entire scenes
film
out
it in the fucking backyard of this pub.
Yeah, but the pub, it's one called Grub. It's great. They've got a cinema in there.
I've been there.
Yeah, well, that's where we shot, and they were brilliant. They were brilliant. So
was weather ever an issue, Hayden? When it came to the weather, was weather ever an issue? Were there scenes that you needed that like it wasn't supposed to be raining, or
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but, yeah. I had a really good director of photography, and he had a really great gaffer. So the lighting was pretty consistent. They were really good.
Nice.
If it had just been left up to me, it would have been fucked. That'd been really difficult.
Right.
I'm much more standard, when it's basic, when it comes to that. But the director of photography, he got an amazing camera package for us. We were going to shoot.
Did you have a best boy?
We didn't have a best boy, no.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I always remember that when I was a kid. I was like, what the fuck is a best boy? It's in the credits.
It's a ridiculous name for one of the most important people on a big film set.
It's like a rigger or something.
They're on the camera electric side, and they're very important.
Can the best boy be a girl?
I guess so. Nowadays, as you can tell.
I mean,
What do they call them now? Best person?
Best they.
The most progressive women have penises. So.
Yeah, well, the best athletes, females, have penises.
I can see Hayden's face going.
Is that true?
I want to say something, but
No, I know. Believe me, if I wanted to say something, I would. It's only fun on Twitter where people disagree with me.
I'm curious, Hayden. Do you feel like you're filtered now that you're doing this like movie shit and like?
I know. Despite everyone's best efforts, I refuse to be filtered.
Have you not seen him on Twitter?
The good news is
no, I don't go on Twitter.
Ken, who's the
Trump's not on Twitter no more, so I don't go on there.
Ken's the one that raises all the funds. He's the one that's going, "Nah, do what you like."
Every time I see Hayden on Twitter, he's just like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm saying this."
Fuck him.
I'm like, yeah, okay, I like that.
I'm going to change now that I'm 50. I'm going to change.
Oh, really?
I was going to ask you that. I our birthdays are almost exactly a year apart, and you've had almost a year now of being 50, and I don't know if we've even talked since you've turned 50. I'm going to be 50. Is there any advice you have for me, or is it no big deal once you hit it?
It's shit. You'll hate it. It's the end of it.
Hold it off as long as you can.
That's what I'm afraid of.
It
That's
feels
what
a
I'm
lot
afraid
like
of.
49, which felt a lot like 48, which
Oh,
doesn't feel that
I'm
different to
turning
38.
50
All right.
soon. I don't
All
want
right.
to hear this shit.
Right when you turn 50, you're going to be like doing a lot of this. Jesus, god damn.
Dude, I'm
And a
already
lot of,
doing
oh
this
my, fuck.
because
I will admit,
look at the scar. I had to have
I will
a
admit,
metal elbow
Aphid,
put in.
Yeah.
waking up in pain is a new thing.
All right.
I mean,
Waking up sore. It used to be sore at the end of the day when you've done many things. And once you get past 50, you wake up at that level.
Well, like getting out of a car or getting out from a couch, I notice is like I dread it. I'm like,
Oh
no.
yeah, getting down on the floor, for anything.
Oh my god.
So you got to get down on the floor for something. You realise,
yeah.
I've
that's the worst.
It's there's absolutely nothing to look forward to.
No, you start reaching out, looking for things to put your hands on to help you stand up. Now,
the worst thing, Hayden, is dropping a plectrum on the floor. Especially
no, it's fine.
Mine that's dark as well.
I have a large bag of plectrums. So if one goes on the floor, the fuckers live in there until the Hoover finds it.
Fair, okay.
Right. I mean, I use those little skinny Jazz 3s, the little red Dunlops. So
they turn up in the washing machine filters all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
They always show up somewhere.
No, but the 50, I'm not looking forward to.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine. It's just.
Well, I had a little bit of like not a health scare, but I had to start taking heart what do you call it, high blood pressure medicine now. And that like really hit me. I was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm old.
Last
I'm
year
not a kid anymore."
I had the big cancer scare last year.
You had a cancer scare? Holy shit!
Big one. Last year I went up to Scotland to play just some guitar on Ken's album, and I came back down, and I lost my voice. I thought, oh, well, yeah, coughing, smoke, lost my voice.
Yeah.
For a month, I lost my voice. I sounded like Marge Simpson.
Oh,
and they sent me. I spoke to the doctor. Did you
set up an OnlyFans?
Only to show my feet. But I phoned the doctor, and they sent me straight to the ear, nose, and throat cancer people.
Yeah.
They put a camera up my nose, and it went down the back, and he said,
"Oh, you have to keep swallowing, makes you gag." Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, they found abnormal cells on my esophagus and on my vocal cords.
Oh, Jesus!
And well, they took me in for a biopsy, which was fucking awesome because the anaesthetist. I didn't know I'd said this. My last words as they went under. He was a very jolly man. He said that because apparently he put fentanyl in the mix.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So he said the last words. He said, "I call this one the Michael Jackson." And the nurses told me when
propofol.
Well, my last words before I fell asleep were, "But he's fucking dead." And then it turns out that I've got silent reflux. I've had it all my life.
Oh, wow.
So heartburn without the burn, so it just happens constantly.
Wow.
And that's been attacking my vocal cords and my esophagus. And if it hadn't attacked my vocal cords, I might not have found out until it became cancer on my esophagus. So
got you. So you take Prilosec now, and you're all set.
I take just the tablets, whatever they are, in the morning, and Gaviscon at night.
Yeah. I got a buddy like that. He's like, I can't eat breakfast yet. Let me get my Prilo.
Oh,
and then he's like, okay, I can eat now. I'm like,
I'm not that disciplined. I'm not. So you got to have this really bland diet as I'm shoveling like a Naga chili curry down my neck. Yeah. But yeah, that was a big. But I remember the day I had the biopsy, and a general came home, couldn't sleep because the dogs were driving me mad. And then
you adopt some strange dogs.
Oh yeah, but my son had gone out and we couldn't find him.
So geez.
Right, okay, I'll go. My wife's like, you can't go. I'm fine. So I went for this big 2-mile walk that took me about 2 hours. I didn't know what fucking day it was. I came staggering up the road like something out of The Walking Dead, and he was just in his friend's house 2 doors down.
Oh my God.
And he was stood there with his mum, and I walked past the pair of them, went straight in the house, got on the couch, and just pulled the covers over my head.
Fucking Walking Dead, huh?
So that's what 50 brings you, Fidlip. Cancer scares.
Man, thanks, man. It
makes
it so much.
It's been great to see you.
I'll see you, Lee.
Yeah,
all right, Lee. Take care, buddy.
Yeah, love you, Lee.
Have a great week, Lee.
See you, man.
Look on the positive side.
Yeah.
Look on the positive side. Doctors are going to be taking much more interest in,
So what can I?
Well, I hadn't been to since my pediatrician, because I was like, I'm not going to the fucking doctor, not unless there's something wrong with me,
Right. You went and then they were like, alarm!
When you went to see your pediatrician, did he complain that you were 48 years old?
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, and then I had to go to the doctor, for this thing, and through my eyes, I feel like I can relate to people, like younger kids, Hayden's like, yeah, I know.
You can actually do a kickflip. That's pretty good.
You and your van.
You're not sounding like a predator right now.
No, I know. But I got in that waiting room, and I was looking around the room, and it was all old people in there, and I was like, man, I'm like
60.
I wish there was
at least,
like 48,
like you, like people like you. But I was like, man, if some teenager came in here, I would look no different to them than any of these other fucking,
You only realize
old
this
ass
at the
people.
age of 49.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's what I'm telling you right now.
At least you
That's
realized
what
it
I'm telling
eventually.
Just
Because
be
when
careful, though.
you look out
I'm
through your
on
eyes
Ethan's
and you
side.
see the
I'm
same
still,
shit you
I
saw when
still
you were a
think
kid.
I look like a fucking 18-year-old skateboarder.
Oh, dude, I still look at people my age and think, look at those old bastards.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
no.
saying. Like, there's no way I want to go to like a high school reunion or something because I'm going to be like, oh my God.
But
Like,
when you sat in the doctor's office, you
Oh my
don't
God,
look
you
like
guys are all so old.
No, we're not old. We're young. We still like skateboarders. That's why I
Last
got,
Dance,
like, a
Last Dance has
fucking metal
outlived
arm in
5
my
doctors.
fucking shoulder.
But Aphid, look, at some point in the next year or so, you're going to try and do a kickflip. And your Achilles tendon is going to go all the way back up your leg.
I know. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's over. It's absolutely over. Like the physical part of my life is. I have to accept that it's just gone.
Yeah.
I pulled down some tree limbs that were dead and busted and shit, and I had to carry heavy shit today. And I was like winded, that part of my life is over.
I know you should still be able to do that. You're obviously fucked.
Here you go. Here's a skateboard. You can do a kickflip for us. Come on.
No, he'll fucking end up on his ass on camera. I'll be liable. I mean,
Aphid broke his hip.
Smash like seven computers, go down trying to do a kickflip, computers flying everywhere. It'll be fucking hell on earth.
He's falling and he can't get up.
That's right. I need one of those things that hang around my neck where I can just push a button and get help.
Yeah.
You need a PS2 controller.
I don't think this getting old thing. I'm going to be able to. I think it's really going to cause some mental problems with me. I really.
I'm going to be honest. I think it's probably going to cause less problems than the only other option that you have.
Well, yeah. I know, but I don't know. I don't know how
it's
people.
All right. I still work the film. I didn't sit down at all for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's fine. You crack on.
Sit down for 2
I mean, there's no other option.
No, for 12
there's
hours.
No other option.
I was on my feet. And it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I felt like shit. I was great for the shoot. It's after the shoot when the invoice comes in.
Right. And you get to work with Graham a lot. He's like the producer or something. You said.
Yeah. He's like a line producer.
So you still see Graham all the time, don't you?
I talk to Graham almost every day.
Oh, man. Well, give him my best.
Really
I miss being able to see Graham on a regular basis. I really do.
There's a thing with producers.
Spoke to Graham on a regular basis. It's
I love Graham. I think he's the greatest guy. But with producers, usually they have money, and like Graham doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together. How the hell is he producing anything?
He doesn't raise the funds. He just has to do all the donkey work.
You're thinking of the executive producer.
That's exactly what he told me. I'm just doing all this shit right now.
What Graham will also do is tell you. Graham will tell you he does even more than he actually.
Oh yeah,
does.
no.
Okay.
And you've got to nod because he pretends that he thinks it's funny when you rib him about it, but he doesn't really like it at all.
No, he was complaining to me at like 2 a.m. in the morning, like going, fucking this movie, it's like, I'm doing all the work.
Wait, you got a line on Graham? Graham's your buddy?
All right, buddy.
What is Random doing in some kind of Graham chat room? What the fuck? I didn't hear about this.
We were talking on Discord one night. Like I said, 3 a.m.
Oh, throw the invite out. I want in on that Graham Discord. That sounds fucking hopping, kid.
If he was so tired and doing all the work, why the fuck was he on Discord at 3 a.m.?
Right, exactly.
I'm wondering if that was the day before he fell asleep on set and said, well, and he got angry when people brought it up. Like, I was up all night and I do all that. We're all up, mate. It's fine. It's like you fell asleep.
I
remember the script supervisor, who was definitely high-level autist. He drove me fucking mental. I'd have him on, and he's very good, but man, he drove me mad. I used to shout at him. just because he
I
just
don't know.
wouldn't
I
stop.
have to admit,
But
Graham,
he fell
have
asleep.
some patience to work with you, though. Hayden.
Yeah, let's go with that. I did ask one of the runners to draw a. I can't remember what I told him to write on his head, but he just went and did it. So I went, "Oh, great, go and draw a cock now." And it was everyone else like, "No, don't do that." But you fall asleep on a set. Everyone takes pictures. Everyone draws on your forehead. Graham didn't get his forehead drawn on. Yeah, and Graham will tell everyone I'm very difficult to work with, but I'm not the one that loses his temper and shouts at people all the fucking time.
No, you were. I mean,
I can't see Graham. Graham was losing his temper.
I can't see Graham losing his temper. No, Graham told me that Hayden loses his temper on set.
Hayden never loses his temper on set. Anyway, I never lose my temper on set ever.
I can see Graham.
I don't. If I lose my temper and snap, I fuck everyone's day on that set because no one feels comfortable. No one. It comes from you. You have to give out positive energy all the time. No matter
it's got to be difficult.
No, that's quite amazing.
It's your job. It's my fucking job. I do my job. It's.
Well, yeah. It's got to be difficult if you have like 5 bad takes in a row, and each one is a few minutes.
It's not difficult because everyone's trying as hard as they can.
Is there a skill to calling it cut? Like if you see something going haywire, do you just end it like mid-scene and like not waste the time of everybody, or do you film everyone full the way through?
Depends how fucking terrible it's going.
So if someone totally shits the bed and loses a line, you're stopping it. But if it's
sometimes it depends where they lose the line in the scene and how it's going to be cut.
I've got a question. You don't have to name names, but have you ever had anybody that you just can't work with? Like,
yeah. Several people. I work with them when I'm working with them, and I treat them the same as everyone else. And the only difference is they never come back to another one of my films. And there's a few people like that.
You're not a dick and like go like fucking do this.
Well, no, you've got a job to do. You just do your job. It's a job. But being a film director is just a job, and your job is to make the best film you can with the resources available. And it's like any management job with added shit to deal with. But it's wonderful. I absolutely adore it. But if you keep a room full of people happy and firing on all 6 cylinders, it's amazing what they come up with. And
yeah, that's not what I'm saying though. It's somebody that's so bad that you just can't work with.
I've not had anyone that I can't get something out of so far. I mean, like I say, there's people I won't work with again.
Oh no, lucky dude.
We did. No, it's not luck. You just pick people really good. We did fire an AD on Cara. And I know she's gone on to say a lot of the reasons about it, and all I tell people is it just didn't work out.
Fair enough. Yeah,
she's got a lot more to say on it. The truth is, it just didn't work out for whatever reason. She's clearly capable, and we got on fine, but it just wasn't there. But the AD we got after that was fucking amazing. But Graham,
what does AD stand for? Audio?
Assistant.
Assistant.
Director.
Okay.
But they aren't the director's assistant. That's the thing.
What is their purpose?
An AD runs the set.
The
director runs everything that's creative. The AD makes it all happen. It's a really big job.
They're moving the cameras around. They're directing.
They make sure everything happens. They don't direct. They don't direct fucking anybody. That's the director's job. But they make sure everything happens, and they keep you on schedule. And you're always fighting with them for time. And
so they're sort of above you in.
No, fuck that. No.
That's but impossible. In respect of getting the movie out on time and
no, they work with you. You know, it's a tough thing to their entire
like
focus.
One of them horrible broadcasting things where you have to like go to a meeting with these people.
No, because it doesn't work like that on our films. Because it's kind of weird. Because I don't take the credit, but because I'm half a Black Octopus, I'm an exec producer as well. So I'm like the director who can't be fired, which is great. But But an AD, you want them to be strong. You want them to push you. You want them to make sure everyone's where they should be. And it's a really difficult job to get right. It's really, really hard. And but the one we got, Lee, like Graham's a good AD.
Huh.
He genuinely is, but he's fucked now because Lee was better. So Graham will never get that gig again.
Hey, Greg, if you're there.
Graham stepped up, though. Graham stepped up. So
that's interesting. It's not from an outsider. It's not a title that you hear about. There's not a Grammy or an Emmy or anything like that for these people. It's an unsung.
There's loads of really hard jobs. I mean, the director of photography, we know what he does. He works with the director to capture the images, and then he'll say, what lighting. So he'll talk about the lighting. And then he'll say to his gaffer, "Make this happen." And his gaffer will tell him what to do. And the gaffer on ours worked his fucking arse off. He was amazing. Then you got a focus puller. It's a separate job, and their job literally is just to pull focus.
They use all LEDs.
LED, well, for the lights.
Yes.
Mostly on Cara, yeah. I think we used a couple of. Did we use any fluorescent fixtures?
I would think those old school high pressure sodium bulbs that's through that real yellow orange light would be cool, dramatic to catch that gold.
Yeah, but with most LED fixtures now, you can get the same color temperature.
Right, the K
without the brutal heat or the random explosions.
Like 28K, 25K, like in that lower end.
Even the ones we use at the studio, they're bicolor, so it's daylight right through to 2100 thereabouts.
Yeah,
so you get pretty much anything you want. And like I say, they're not hot. And
right, yeah, a high pressure sodium bulb is like 500 degrees and high pressure.
Tungsten bulbs are incredibly volatile. Because when I worked in film as a kid and we shot that film in Ukraine, funnily enough, that was proper old school film lights like Blondes, which are the big, brutal film, and the heat that used to come off them was ferocious. And LEDs just aren't like that.
I just wonder, will LEDs add too much of a clean effect? Like, thinking about like Apocalypse Now and some of the cool lighting in that movie, those were all halogen and metal halide and maybe HPS.
I'm sure there are people who will say otherwise, but I watched my DP point his mobile phone at my shoe for the red color that he liked on my shoe, and that came out in the lights. You can do anything if you've got a good DP, but you got to remember it's things like we shot Cara. He got us a really good camera package. We were going to use our own gear, but he got us an Arri Mini, which is an Alexa Mini, which has been used for loads of Hollywood films. And then he got us a load of vintage Japanese Kawa anamorphic lenses that are virtually priceless now. And we had a full set of those to shoot with. But then they've got the glimmer glass and they got all this and that and the other that they put in to create a look. Cara's got a really
filters,
strong,
right?
We didn't use many filters.
Okay.
Cara has a very strong sort of dreamlike quality to it because of these vintage lenses, and he did use ND filters, so I guess that counts.
Huh.
But the next film's going to be a very different look and a different camera, so we're going to be shooting it on the new Arri camera, the Arri 35, apparently. So,
really,
yeah, that's exciting, and we're going to use spherical glass instead of anamorphic. So I want it to have a very different look to Cara.
Huh. What is the difference there?
Anamorphic. Okay. Spherical glass is like your standard lens. It's spherical and convex. An anamorphic lens is oval. So you have to stretch the image out. Most cameras do it in camera now. So you get that super wide screen, distortion at the edges, the flares. Think of J.J. Abrams' film.
Right. Shorter, wider.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't like a lot of the flares, so we had to shoot carefully because I didn't want too much of that. But I love the distortion off these vintage ones. But everything's a different look. And for the next film, I want a very different look to Cara. Because you can't use the same thing for everything.
Interesting.
I think spherical lenses for Cara. So sorry for Uncle Jack. So I wanted to have a more real world
Yeah, right. So most movies are shot in like what you're just talking about, right? Like
most movies nowadays, a lot more of them are anamorphic, but they'll use modern glass. Anamorphic's insanely popular at the minute. But then you get guys like Roger Deakins, who's one of the best DP, well, one of the most successful DPs in the world. He did Blade Runner 1914, just loads of stuff. He won't shoot anamorphic. He doesn't like it, so he shoots spherical on everything. And his films look fucking incredible. So it's just what you want for each project. You know, what sort of look do you want? How do you want it to feel?
I'm so like old school that I don't watch new movies, so all of my movie references are old.
Most of your favorite old movies were anamorphic.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly through like the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Jaws, Apocalypse Now, Platoon, those are three that come to mind
Not about
immediately.
Platoon, but Apocalypse Now almost certainly will have been. But they're all shot on film. We don't shoot on film anymore. Well, I certainly don't. It's too expensive, and I don't see the point.
It's all digital, you just immediately, right?
Yeah. Although that new camera that Alex got that we're going to use on Uncle Jack, the memory cards for a set of 5 is £20,000.
Damn,
it's mental. It's fucking mental. Once you get up into the cinema stuff, it's horrific. It's stupid.
My God,
it's stupid. Everything's.
I've heard
ruinous.
That's stupid money, and it's just not
Everything.
worth it. Yeah.
Well, it is because it has a purpose, and that's the thing. You know, you might say, well, you could just use a DSLR because they do video now, and you could use that for your. But it's about reliability, functionality. You know, all these things. Like an ARRI camera is expensive because every time you turn that fucker on, it comes on.
DSLRs, if you don't set them up right, they don't have the nice contrast or anything like that.
No, but even the best ones aren't built for really making films.
No, they're like for like what, like YouTubers and stuff.
No, well, no, I'd make a film with it if I had to.
Yeah, but it's not the ideal.
Yeah, it's not the ideal. I don't care what anyone says. Cinema cameras are rigged out to make it possible to shoot feature films on, and they have certain standards they have to meet, not just visually, because visually subjective, but just operation-wise and reliability-wise and build quality-wise. You know, they're built to take the hammer, so that they work time after time after time after time after time, and that's what you're paying for. But it's still horribly expensive, in my opinion. All of it is.
Yeah,
all of it costs a fortune.
From the outsider looking in, it looks so expensive that I would fucking have an aneurysm.
That's why you rent. That's why you rent most of it.
Hey, let's address Lee's question. Did you happen to notice that one there, Hayden?
Rust incident.
I keep pressing it, and then Last Dance is pressing it at the same fucking time. Go ahead.
I didn't notice it.
Okay,
I think that's a catalogue of errors and people not having any attention to detail and very poor set discipline that resulted in the death of an incredibly talented young woman. And it was needless. So it's a manslaughter minimum.
Charge.
Yeah, 100%. He should have been up on a manslaughter charge as a producer.
What was this for?
Who do you think? Are you talking about Baldwin or the armorer or the who?
No, the producer has to be judged because it's there. The book stops them. The armorer. Everyone that touched that gun is liable. But at the end of it, he should have fucking checked. Number one. Number two, the fact that they let the crew take the guns and go and fire them in the desert on breaks. No, I won't even let an actor use a real hammer. You know, I get fake hammers just if they're waving it around because the fucking actors.
Nerf hammers.
The last thing I do is go, yeah, there's some bullets. Go shoot some shit. They're actors. You don't trust actors to eat without supervision. You know. And it just begs. I mean, like I say, safety on set is so easy. There's no excuse.
I was breaking up some furniture once, and this dude came up to me. This is like a true story, and he was like, "Hey, can I take a whack?" And I gave him the hammer, and he swung the hammer, and fucking his wrist was so limp that he almost hit himself in the foot with the hammer when it released from his hand. If not for his great jumping technique to avoid, and I was like, holy shit, I just handed that guy a hammer, and I would have been liable if he broke his foot. It was like incredible.
It's so easy with guns, especially.
That's a hammer. Now you turn it into a fucking gun, dude? Yikes. Like, liability.
Baldwin saying, I didn't pull the trigger. Fuck off.
Yeah.
6 shooters don't go. I mean, a revolver doesn't go off on its own. You can.
Apparently, it does.
Well, apparently, it really fucking doesn't. He pulled that hammer back, and he pulled that trigger. And yeah, I would never fire a gun at a person. So why have they got the blast shields in front of them? Because you were supposed to fire the gun at the camera. You just didn't check to see if there was a fucking bullet in it. And it's all right saying, well, it's not my job. It's like, I don't get. If it was me, if I was an actor, I'd be having a look.
No, I mean, they should be trained in, sort of.
You don't even have to be trained. You just open the chamber and go, are the bullets in that?
Yeah,
don't,
but
obviously, don't walk down it.
Know how to look at the gun, if it's chambered or if it's,
You see, how it should work on a set is the armorer. The armorer should have control of those guns constantly and not let people go shooting them in the lunch break.
But he should also make sure that they are up to date with the.
Well, not only that, everyone whose hands touched that gun had a duty of care to check that gun was safe. And if that had been my film set, the minute I heard people were playing with the guns, I'd sack them. I'd just sack them because that's too dangerous.
Yeah. On top of that, you say to yourself, like, someone gives you a gun and like they tell me, okay, you're going to point it at Last Dance. I'm going to say to myself, okay, let's go over here to the side and empty this thing out. Yeah. I'm going to put them all in my fucking hands before I point them at a human being.
I appreciate that.
Anything about films? After what happened on The Crow, check there's no obstruction in the barrel as well.
Could be. Blow your hand off.
They had blanks, but there was a bullet head, an old one, lodged in the barrel. And
was that with Brandon Lee? Is that what happened with him? Oh, fucking crazy, dude.
And that fucked the actor that did that. I can't remember his name, but it fucked him up. Because on a film set, someone goes, there's your gun. Right, okay, let's go. It's a lack of training. It's a lack of discipline. And
oversight. Oversight.
But it's too easy to have an accident. It's way too easy to have an accident in any kind of way.
The armor has to be so anally retentive about these rules. Like, they have to be over the top. Even if you think they're a fucking dickhead, that's their job to be a dickhead.
Oh, I would rather have an armor that was an absolute cunt, but nobody got hurt.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah,
because that's their
as soon
entire
as you
job.
pointed the gun, even if it wasn't loaded or anything, you would just run over and go, no, fucking no.
Oh, and they do. Good armorers do. They're vicious with it.
They should.
But they also don't just hand guns out for people to walk around with.
Hey, Fid.
Boy, the armor in the original Red Dawn must have had a lot of pressure with all those mowing down of people with automatic weapons, and also The Great Escape. There's like 50 cows shooting at people in those movies.
I'm going to imagine going back to those days. There was less of a concern. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, in this day and age as well, I mean, I understand blank firers, but there's no reason not to use blank firing guns with plugged barrels because it's so easy to do. Use CGI for, the muzzle blast. And also, back when you were shooting film, they used to have to put muzzle blast on anyway because film only rolls at 24 frames a second. And it quite often miss the muzzle blast. So
I want to see guys like flipping around and shooting guns in all directions, like, and doing crazy shit. That's like the best.
Probably best off not going to watch Oppenheimer then, I imagine.
I don't watch movies, dude. I'm pathetic. I watch, like, your short movies were perfect for me. 5 minutes, boom, done. On to the next. Like, yeah. I mean, I'll watch Kara for sure.
What else do you do?
Well, 5 minutes into Kara, I'm gonna have like Pantera Walk like playing in the background, and I'm like, yeah, woo, and then I'll be like trying to learn the solo, and then by the time I'm done with that, who knows what's happening? It's like
you got fucking ADHD.
Yeah, I might be at the beach by then. Who knows? I'm all over the place, man.
This is the guy you picked to take over the show. Hey,
I didn't pick him. He just said he wanted to do it, and I went yes.
You were like, yeah, all right, whatever, it's yours. See ya, and then fucking gonzo for 3 years. It's good to see you again, though.
Yeah, I should stop by more often. I should.
Yeah, and get Graham too. Tell him. Tell Graham.
We're grateful.
He's got a little baby in the house as well, so it's a bit more difficult for him.
He can bring the baby on. He can put one of those fake breastfeeding bags on and like breastfeed the baby.
It doesn't have to be fake these days, do you? Get with the right course of medication.
I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy world.
All kidding aside, though, we're grateful that Smokesteve took the reins and.
Me too. I love seeing this. Genuinely, I was so happy to see it still going. It makes me happy.
And I've been paying. You see, there's no StreamYard logo on this bad boy.
You're investing. You're investing.
He's got Last Dance. He didn't trust me, but he's got Last Dance.
I remember what that was like to invest the shit out of stuff that will never make money. It was
This is my one thing.
Websites, camera equipment. Yeah.
I haven't done any of that. Just the same. When you told me like 3.5 years ago, all right, it's yours. I'm thinking about like saying you're in, bro, and then I said I bought a laptop, and then you were like, all right, you're in. It's still the same laptop. This fucking thing's rolling strong. So, of course, the ticket is no porn ever, just fucking YouTube and StreamYard. So, like, nothing's like polluted this, except for my smoke. Though I think people have said, like, how do I smoke so much and the computer doesn't take, like, can the smoke hurt? I don't know. Hayden, you've been around this shit for 25 years.
I wouldn't worry about it.
You were fucking smoke master flex back in the day. You quit smoking with vaping, I think, dude, which was pretty cool.
Many times. Yeah.
Which was funny. Like, now they're fucking banning vapes, but smokes are still legal. I don't get it.
The world's a funny place. There's obviously more money in cigarettes.
You can buy a 20-pack of Marlboro Heavies, but you can't get a vape if you're trying to quit.
Do you know how much a packet of cigarettes is here now? Roughly around 14
But I buy 50 grams.
Oh, are you shitting me? 14. Oh my god, dude.
Well,
so you vape. So like, what's like a day? What does it come out to be?
Well, I don't do the big vapes anymore. I do the small mouth to lung ones. But these bottles, I think I get 10 from this company, Homeboy. I get 10 of them for 25 quid. So
and how long does that last you?
I get a couple of days out of each bottle, really. 2, 3.
So 10 could be a month?
Yeah. Or a week if I tan it.
That's... Yeah, I mean, like...
I end up throwing a couple away because they're fucking horrible as well.
I'm at $5 a pack. So between me and my wife...
$5? That's all you're paying?
Yeah, yeah. So we're a little over $10.
That tobacco was grown in Chernobyl, though.
But it wasn't even just the
tobacco over here. Right, for me, it's... And I live in a shit end of nowhere. It's about 30 quid for a 50-gram pouch.
Yeah.
Jesus.
30 quid.
A day? Like a pack?
No, not a day. No.
Oh.
It's like a month. But
when we went down to tobacco country, to the Carolinas, they were about $5 to $6 a pack, like maybe $60 a carton. Is that what you're paying, Aphid?
Well, I mean, five times 10, so $50.
Damn, that is cheap. What are those? American Spirit? What the hell is that? What's that?
Winston.
Winston.
And I get the hundreds because they're a little bit longer. Why get cheated with paying for those shorties?
Same price, more.
Last Dance knows what I'm talking about. I mean, if he smoked
Absolutely.
cigarettes, he'd get the longer ones for the same price.
If you really want to cheer yourself up, tear the filter off one of them, tear the filter off a shorty, and realize that, wow, I really enjoyed that extra 2 mil. Hello, Jill. Sorry for ignoring you, darling. Hello.
Well,
you have an animal?
I don't want more.
One of the cats.
The last thing I need is more nicotine addiction. So I think that's probably a bad idea.
That's the main reason I quit. The money was obviously a part of it because it's ridiculously expensive.
Right.
I was tired of getting tired going up and down stairs. I was tired of the little crackly noises you get in your chest at night that you keep hearing.
Right.
But that wasn't the nicotine. That was the tar.
No, that's the smoking. It's the 200 amount, different chemicals and shit. And I just thought I've had enough of that. I've just had enough.
Man, I've thought I've had enough so many times. I mean, I got a kid, and I know I'm short. I know I'm shortening my life. Every time I smoke one.
It's not the nicotine. It's the smoke. Smoke is horrendous for you. It's not good.
Yeah, it's 2,000 carcinogenic chemicals.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible human being.
No,
this wasn't the first sign, though.
It's an addiction, dude. It just doesn't get treated as a serious one, but it's one of the most addictive things around.
I know.
That's right.
That's a
my big problem with the
so many of my friends though smoked them, and they quit.
Yeah,
but here I am.
They're weird. They're quitters.
The other day, my brother was like, yo, I hear nicotine, like, he's a gym rat now, so he's like, the bodybuilders are taking nicotine. I'm like, you're not going to take fucking nicotine and go work out. And he's like, I don't know, just saying, it's in the workout community. I'm like, what the fuck? They're taking nicotine now? It's like, it's just, to get more out of their workout, like, he was telling me a story back in the day, like bodybuilders would all like get high because they didn't want the calories from alcohol, so like they'd all smoke weed and like then their diet would get all fucked up. But just hilarious.
Big bodybuilder where I worked one time, he was used to enter championships. When he'd go on his big diets, to get down to zero body fat, he was
he was cutting.
He was an awful cunt, is what he was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was going on, and he was always going on to me, look at you, you're fat, you're unhealthy. He's like, dude, you're going to have a heart attack when you're 40, and he's going to fucking kill you. Your veins are like purple hose pipes. You've got tiny little testicles, and you're angry all the fucking time.
I can't stand them people that's just like, yeah, bro, you should lift more, bro.
I mean, people can lift as much as they like.
You look so much unhappier than I do.
I don't know. It's not my business if they want to die young with little testicles. That's their choice.
No, but why force it on us, though?
Well, they don't. They don't force it on me. They don't. I've never once been dragged to the gym and forced to lift it
my
up.
mate used to try and drag me to the gym all the time, and it's like, no.
I used to love the gym when I was in my 20s. I used to go 3-4 times a week.
It's nothing wrong with it.
I didn't lift too much in the way of weights, but I used to work. But then I broke my back and got lazy and stayed lazy. And you know what? Lazy's better.
Yeah, it is. Convincing yourself that you're healthy is so much better.
Easier too, because you're stuffing another cake.
Yeah, just keep. Dude, my 87-year-old dad will just be the best example. Just keep fucking moving, dude.
No.
Keep moving. Move. Walk. Get to your places.
My dad can't even move.
Just leave that potential, because if you fuck with it, then it's no longer potential, is it?
Right.
I remember I got the diabetes.
It's always a dream, and it's amazing.
You're diabetic?
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's the thing. Wilford Brimley gave me the diabetes. And I had it for a while. And
Wilfred Grimley.
I took yes.
Are you from the Shire?
I took metformin for a while, and then I got a call from the doctor. He said, "We've had your blood results through. You're no longer diabetic." I said, "That's great. You've obviously been looking after yourself." He went, keep on doing what you're doing. And as he said that, I was eating a mince pie at Christmas. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the diabetes. That's funny how you said that, man.
Well, I flirted with it, but we just didn't get on. We weren't compatible.
Yeah,
good man. Good
you
man.
liked some things and you liked other things, and so you moved your separate ways.
I'm just too mean for diabetes. I'll probably get typhus. That'll be my kind of thing. Sepsis, something proper, something to get your teeth into.
Those compatible personalities there.
Have you guys heard about this thing going on in Long Island, that this serial killer may have been captured?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I didn't even know there was a serial killer.
Yes, dude.
He went to school with one of the Baldwin brothers, funnily enough.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
We probably
The serial killer thing.
those Baldwins just for safety, general safety.
I don't know. The Baldwins, Hunt for Red October, he was damn good, so they get the pass for that one.
They're around a lot of death. I don't trust that family.
I know. But this has been a thing going on for a fairly long time that I've been interested in, this Long Island serial killer, and I can't believe it.
Very unusual for a serial killer, that in as much as he's managed to hold down a very normal life for a very long time. You know, nobody that met Jeffrey Dahmer, everyone says he was a lovely, quiet man. But nobody that met him ever thought perfectly normal bloke.
The killer clown guy had a little bit of a normal life.
Dude, we're all serial killer files here, so what about the Green River Killer? He fucking held that shit together for a long time.
I didn't say it never happened. I said
What
it's
about
incredibly
Dennis
unusual.
Rader?
That's true.
Most serial killers are obviously fucking demented.
They look just like me.
My favorite.
Surprise! We're all serial killers. No, I'm just kidding.
It's weird to say a favorite killer, but Ed Kemper.
You look like a cop.
Kemper.
Ed
Kemper was like 6 foot. He was like
from retirement.
He was like 6'6", 6'7".
He still is.
He's still alive.
Ferociously intelligent, and I'll never forget the one thing that caught me was when they got him, and he went, "Yeah, I did all that, yeah." And then he said, "You should probably kill me."
Mm-hmm.
Should probably kill me. If I ever get out, I am definitely going back to doing that. Just
now,
like
was he Long Island?
No.
Nice.
There was a crew of Long Island serial killers going on back in the day at the same time.
It's the water. See, that's the difference as well. Your American serial killers are very crazy. Granted, we did have the York Ripper, but we had the most, what we believe is the most prolific serial killer in the world, which is Dr. Harold Shipman, who just used to give the little old ladies a bit of insulin. And bye-bye. Nice and calm. Didn't wear the skin. Didn't bum the corpses. You know, none of that shit. And then when they arrested him and he went to prison, he very quietly hanged himself.
Huh.
End of story. And he was the most prolific serial killer.
It's a beautiful story.
How many?
Happy ending.
They think it could be over 200.
It could be like,
Jeez.
Yeah, there's like a Russian serial killer in the hundreds, but he's...
Didn't they
I don't know.
find a load of bodies under, like, the garden and stuff?
No, that was Fred West.
Oh, that's Fred West.
Oh no, he was fucking evil. I mean, don't get me wrong. So was Harold Shipman. He killed
but Fred and Mary,
Fred and Rose.
Sorry,
they were bad.
Yeah.
They were bad. They killed
So,
the kid.
let me recount a English serial killer woman that I remember from my reading. You guys can tell me if it's accurate. There was a woman who had pictures of men's genitals, but she had then killed them.
Don't know. The ones I remember from the women murderers would be Mary Bell and Myra Hindley, obviously.
Myra Hindley.
That was from my neck of the woods. In fact, Though we don't talk to them anymore because they're cunts. My wife's brother-in-law's sister, so whatever the fuck that makes her, they were in that area where they were picking kids up, and she distinctly remembers as a child this woman trying to lure her into a van.
Damn.
And with a man driving, trying to lure her into the van. And it was Myra Hindley.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't get in the van.
She would have been killed?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Raped
that is absolutely horrible, man.
Then the Yorkshire Ripper, he was quite a popular one. He was Yorkshire, obviously, but also did kill quite a few in Manchester. Funny enough, Bruce Jones, he was in my last film. He was a big TV star here for years. When he was young, he was on an allotment with his friend doing, the way they grow vegetables and fruit and all that sort of shit. And he found one of the Ripper's victims.
Oh.
And it was one that the Ripper had killed, then gone back and mutilated. And he found this woman like that. And then he was originally accused of doing it.
Yeah, that sucks.
So
Decrepit corpse, totally rotting corpse.
I don't know how rotten she was, but she was fucked up.
I mean, he that alone could cause a guy to have PTSD.
Oh, and it did.
Well, yeah,
it did.
Back in the day, they didn't give a shit, though.
No, it did. It fucked him up completely and utterly for many years.
Oh, yeah,
he's carried it with him his entire life.
But back in the day, they didn't recognize that shit. They just
No.
ignored it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys would all agree. I've stuck my dick in a lot of things, but a rotten corpse just ain't one of them.
It's got to be fresh for you.
You're only 50, Aphid. Like, there's still time.
Exited out on that one, Aphid.
I mean, you've got standards.
Who's with me?
I remember I was on. I think it might have been Facebook. People were talking about those real dolls, and one person said,
"Wow, Facebook's really gone downhill."
Back in the day, someone actually put in there. You can put them in the bath and warm them up, so they're more realistic. And I said you can also put them in the freezer and get a very similar realism effect.
Well played.
Depends what you like.
The more realistic, if they're cold, with that frozen expression.
That's so weird. That shit.
Probably somebody has actually tried that. Like put their sex doll in the freezer.
I mean,
hey, honey,
the whole
you
thing
have
is
to freeze off for a bit. I'd like the necrophilia.
Listen, guys, there by the grace of God go I. Who are we to judge?
That's right.
That's true.
Well, I don't know.
It's when they start popping.
Maybe it's the best thing in the world. Is what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
You just don't know. You just don't know. I always imagined it'd be awkward fucking a corpse, but I mean, I don't know. There's lots of things I don't want to try that other people enjoy.
I love Bjork to peg me rather than watching that.
You said Bjork?
Yes.
Random.
Why she screams her lyrics in my ear?
I was going to say, why is being pegged by Bjork worse than being pegged by anyone else?
Well, because of her noise in the ear, when she screams her lyrics.
I don't know if she does that during pegging, though. She might be very
I don't know. I'm not.
She might be very quiet and tender.
Oh, you reckon?
She might be very gentle.
I could think of a lot worse.
Well,
things.
she's just.
I can think of so many worse things.
Did you ever see when Bjork attacked that reporter and fucking slammed her head into the ground? That was fucking hilarious, bro.
Do you remember,
I loved it.
Bjork's stalker that killed himself with?
Oh yeah,
yeah. That guy was awesome too.
He put a nipple on his head because the bullet didn't escape. It didn't reach escape velocity.
Oh really?
It went through his brain.
I'll have to watch that video again.
Yeah, it leaves a little tit on his. I think he used like a 32 or something. And then you hear him fall on the floor making groany, snory noises.
Yeah, that was such a cool. He devolved into insanity and death. So,
oddly enough, there's a connection with that in you, Hayden. I think it was when you guys took away. It was when you took away something on Live Leak. I acted like I was him and showed a bunch of shavings in the sink. Like I shaved my head, and then I showed that clip of that guy shooting his head off because I was so upset that you guys took some funk, because people lost their shit when maybe it was the comment section in the your say section. Maybe
People
it was
lost
what
their
it was.
shit about everything on Lively constantly. There was no perspective whatsoever with anyone, and it's just like, you did that to me. It's like, no, we just did that. You just happened to be. And that was always my favorite thing. You were just after me. It's like, dude, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Right.
I've got no fucking idea who Dave Many Numbers is. I just don't know.
Right.
Everyone thought it was personal. I could sit there at home all night writing a list of bastards. You know, I remember the guys I used to interact with a lot. You know, like if anyone insulted you, you just banned them. It's like, dude, the site would have been fucking empty.
Right.
It's like, no, it's not personal. It's just that you were too fucking stupid to follow the easiest rules on the fucking internet.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest ones. You know, don't use racial slurs. Well, I want to. Well, you can't. Yeah, but I want to. Well, I don't care.
Right.
How dare you? So, well, we dare. Everyone. It's always the same. It's that huge sense of internet entitlement that never ceased to fucking amuse me, because I'm as guilty of it as anyone else. But it always cracked me up on Lively that everyone acted like it was a personal vendetta.
It's just them.
And it was that fucking. It was that weirdo. I can't remember his name. He was a mod for a little bit. I didn't take him on as a mod.
Schmeebly.
No, oh god, no.
Oh, not him.
Smedley. He was so weak. That poor man. That poor man.
God.
And do you remember they made a Facebook group page?
The Live Leak Facebook group?
An anti-Live Leak one.
Oh no, I guess I wasn't a member of that
Scholar.
one.
But
Scholar.
What I did, I mean, I used to love trolling back in the day, so I got access to that group by talking people into it. And the last thing was, now promise, you're not just going to delete anything from this group. I went, no, not at all. As I was emptying the group on Facebook, and it's like someone said, was it because it was a challenge to Lively? It's like, no, dickhead, I'm just having fun. Like when Oz Soldiers set up a forum, and I trolled it so relentlessly, he shut it down.
I remember John 1054.
Oh, he was fucking brilliant,
man! I can't believe he never unleashed that all those messages that were just going to bury Live Leak that he was promised.
It's almost as if they didn't exist. But he was fun. Everyone gets legal. But this guy who was a mod, he was harassing this woman on the site, and he sent her pictures of him in the nude on satin sheets with a semi on, so he'd look impressive. And so it took a while, but we got rid of him, and he said he'd sue me for wrongful dismissal. I'm like, just do whatever the fuck you like. So remember, he joined Oz Soldiers site, and there was all Hayden Kardashian, and I posted his pictures all fucking over it. And every time he took them down, I just posted, because everyone thinks that Lively were trolling Lively. I was doing that to websites in the fucking 90s. You know, that's how we all ended up doing Ogrish and Lively, because we were professional fucking arseholes. And shutting our Soldiers site down was fucking lovely, because he used to message me all the time, I'm going to make a bigger site than Lively. Okay. Sure. But I used to enjoy that. Was just my downtime shit. It wasn't policy. It was just fun. It was fun. You know, some people just have a thinner skin. I found Australians to be particularly upset by most.
Yeah, they sure were, weren't they?
They call everyone. They call like you whinging pom. It's like, dude, you never stop fucking complaining. Like Smedley was either complaining or trying to share his life story with me.
Oh my god!
And I wasn't interested in either of those things. And who was he acted like he was a cornerstone alive. He used to play the flute. What's his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking. And people like that guy. I know exactly who you're talking.
Yeah, he was so fucking strange. He used to lecture me
God,
like,
dude.
The guy that did the carvings.
Yes,
and
yes,
played
the
the
wooden
flute.
carvings and,
Yeah.
and the staffs. He would make the tall staffs that he would walk with.
Oh yeah.
That guy's name.
It was Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah, something Baggins.
Dildo
was
Baggins.
Dildo Baggins. And he used to tell me, like, you'd be nothing without us. It's like, oh, fuck off.
But the carvings were fucking sick.
They were.
But do you know
Well,
what?
I mean, they
Not one of those carvings
were.
paid the bills at Lively.
Right.
I used to explain to him, it's like, no, what pays the bills is the stuff on the front page. It's the big hitters. Your site, without this site, it'd be fucked. No, without your site, the site would be a little bit cheaper.
Right. Like, the relay section didn't sell nothing.
That was just that we
the,
liked
the,
it.
The amount of views that the Ursay section was like this, and the amount of views
The Ursay section was just an expense, but we liked it. That was the whole point. But oh man, he used to give me so much shit. You don't understand what it is to look after people. He's like, mate, just I'm really not interested. You know, just fucking leave me alone, you sanctimonious, boring cunt.
Did you guys ever get anything that you had to remove because it would possibly be like libel or maybe
we took the Christchurch video down.
Right, yeah, I knew that. Yep, you're right. Yep.
That guy, there was one about don't fuck with cats, the guy that was involved with that. His video where he stabbed and chopped someone up, we wouldn't show that because we were smart enough to know that was an ongoing investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that fucking Fruit Loop anti-Semitic piece of shit that ran Best Gore decided he'd get away with it because he'd tell people he was helping with the investigation. What he helped with was helping himself directly into fucking prison. Stupid fucking asshole.
Did he?
I hated that prick. I really hated that fucking prick. He was a horrible cunt. No time for him whatsoever.
It seems like the time that I was there, it seemed like the most trouble you got into was the video of the two reporters that
no, that was fuck all. That was people moaning at us.
The mass shooter who killed the two reporters?
Yeah, no. Well, one reporter he killed, didn't he? Shot him in the head.
He shot the photographer or the camera guy and the
That's when they tried to get that Mike Wolf to ambush me. I BBC, wasn't it?
The guy that looked like he had jaundice. He was so yellow.
I couldn't see him at the time, or I might have asked.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
you're like, well, you watched it. You didn't have nothing to say about it.
And of course, I had seen it. Of course, I'd seen it, but I thought it was just what a great time to lie, and it worked quite well. But Fitna was the most trouble. Nothing comes close to the trouble that caused.
What?
Fitna, that film, the anti-Islam film by Geert Wilders.
Yeah, Geert Wilders.
Dutch politician. Man, that caused more trouble than anything else ever.
Oh, okay. So there was something involved with that was destroyed on camera that was highly controversial.
Well, it was just you know what it was really? It was a shitty YouTube video saying I don't like Muslims. But because he was a Dutch politician, it just went through the fucking roof. And nowhere else would allow it. And they let us watch it and we discussed it. I was like, well, it doesn't break the rules.
Huh.
It's shit. And yeah, of course he's an arsehole, but we don't have a rule about not being an arsehole, thankfully. So it was within our rules. So we got to show it. In hindsight, should have said no.
Right. So that would have brought like, oh shit. Biscuit's here.
You got Biscuit. You gotta stand up for Hayden here.
I wish I had some music for him. Last dance, cue the music.
Well done.
I don't have any music.
Last time he saw you, you were shaving your eyebrows off.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! I forgot about that.
That was a long time ago.
I think you might have a shirt for him that size now, Hayden. I think you owe him one.
I'm down to a 2XL now.
I'm so glad you told me. You know, earlier we were talking about Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper. Okay. I think that's what Biscuit's shooting for. And that is, by the way, Biscuit, that is not a criticism. It's definitely not. Right, guys, it's 3:30.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go too. I was just waiting.
It's been lovely. I'm sorry, Biscuit Face, dude.
It's all right.
I wish you'd popped in early. Would have been nice to have a
Well, I've just woke up. I've been asleep.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been lovely hanging out with you.
Great having you. Hayden.
Good seeing you. Hope to see you sometime soon.
We'll definitely do it again soon.
All right.
Yeah. Please come. Don't be a stranger now, buddy.
I'll do my best. See you later.
All right, man. Good luck.
Take it easy, Aphid too. Oh, there's Sven.
Oh, Sven's
Good boy,
here
Sven.
and Biscuit. Look at that. We got the two dogs, the two dark dogs.
You can't see Sven. You just see the dark shadow.
White mass.
He's a
cute.
big dog.
He's cute. He's a sweetie.
Yeah.
Now random goon's gonna shoo him away to his corner.
No, he's getting tangled up in wires now. Oh, no.
Sven's gonna run away with like an Ibanez on one foot, a fender on the other. Fucking, like, dude, it could be a total disaster. Sven does one round, he could take out 6 guitars.
Yeah, no, because no, dude.
Is he guitar trained, Goon? Are you up on that?
Not quite, no. Right, go on. Sven, go on, away. Take him away.
Does he ever strum the strings with his tail like my dog used to?
Yes, he does. And I'm trying to keep him away from my new guitar right now. No, come on away, Sven. Away.
Good tail whack, flop the guitar over onto its headstock.
No, every time my dog used to go past my guitars, his tail used to whack the body of the guitar, and it'd play all strings at once.
Same.
Well, you tune it to an open chord, so when they walk by, they play like a C chord.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just get a slide out and go, what?
Well, that's funny. Like tune like 4 guitars in a row to 4 chords that would sound good in a song. If you could get the dog to walk by and hit all 4, it's something.
I guess, yeah.
Cup of tea's going off over
It'd be
here.
a bit difficult for a dog to do a D chord though, wouldn't it? Only to hit 4 strings, not all 6.
But you could tune it to a drop D, so it would actually work. So it would be D, A, D, G, D, D. Double drop D. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely work. You have to get creative. It's good to have Hayden in here tonight.
Yeah,
that
big
was nice,
surprise.
wasn't it?
Massive surprise.
Last Dance, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it was great to have him.
That was cool, man. He showed up out of nowhere. Absolutely no warning. And I even thought for a second, like Last Dance, you said, do you see that? And I was like, yeah. I was like, is it fake? is this going to be a porn bot? And then it was fucking him. I just said, fuck it, dude. Like, at this point, if someone's going to bomb us and fucking do that, whatever. And it was him. I was blown away, which was very cool. It's good to see him come back.
It is.
I've always wanted to say to come back, but I always assumed they didn't want to. So, but now to see that he came back and just chatted, I'm like super psyched about it, which is great.
Really, really pleasant surprise.
Love to have Graham come back.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Were you guys watching him? Was he having a drink or anything? I saw him emit some vapors. I know he was having a vape, right?
That's all I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Goon, you want to play a tune?
No, I can't.
Plug in, dude. Play something on low volume. You know,
low volume. No. I've got neighbors.
yeah, but you're in your own house. You can still play, dude.
Yeah, but they won't appreciate it.
Okay, you're a good neighbor.
Here in the UK, houses are very close together.
Yeah,
We're all a close
we are
community.
very close.
So you're at like 3 a.m. So
Yeah, 4 a.m. almost.
I understand.
I would. I'd love to.
Wait another 4 hours, then we might be able to do something. Wake up the neighbours, be the alarm. Mind you, it's a Sunday. I don't think people would appreciate that at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I hear you. It's Sunday too, which is like the sacred day. I think, that's the big day. People want to sleep in then. Although I might go fishing in the morning. Thinking it's
nice.
It's going to be super
I
foggy.
hate fishing. I don't understand it.
I just go down. I go stand there and look at the ocean. It's awesome.
Ocean fishing.
Oh yeah, ocean fishing. Just cast out a line, smoke a bowl, maybe if I feel like it, and just hang out, man.
Also add the smoker for the fish you catch.
Could be. I mean, I don't smoke a lot. I'm not a smoking guy for cooking, but I want to smoke. Smoke a lot of weed. I just don't smoke my food,
Food.
But it looks cool. I don't know. Do you smoke? I know you're not a smoker.
Yeah, but I like smoking food as well.
You smoke food.
I like smoking food, yeah, bro. Sven, right.
I buy my food ready smoked.
Ooh, look at you.
Bacon and salmon and stuff like that.
Last dance, smoking vegetables isn't really a thing, right?
Not that I know of.
You're not a big vegetable smoker.
I mean, the Indian food.
You're not a big...
I suppose you can smoke.
I don't smoke meat either.
You can smoke corn, right?
Indian cooking does feature a kind of adding smoke to the food.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah, they really are quite elaborate with what they do with charcoal to put the flavor in food. It's quite impressive.
And there's a lot of vegetarians over there, so there must be some pretty good Indian options for you.
Yep, there are.
I would think that would be the number one for vegetarian options of ethnic cuisine, if you will.
Well, I certainly love Indian food, but
yeah, same.
Mexican, South American,
not so much.
No, okay. Indian then is your go-to. Japanese,
Indian, Thai flavors, Chinese food. You can get vegan Chinese food if you know where to go. And
Jack Tok Thai.
What's that?
It's from Meet the Parents. Jack Tok Thai. It's stupid.
I've seen that movie, but I don't remember that.
It's when they're gonna buy the trip for them to Koh Samui, and he's like, Operation Koh Samui, and they're like, Jack Tok Thai. Jack speaks Thai, but they say Jack Tok Thai, and it's pretty stupid, man. Yeah, but it's a good line. What else do we got over here? Anything good going on in the chat? English Bottle Cap is back. Good to see English Bottle Cap.
English Bottle Cap?
Sawdust Smoke Ham. Not bad, English. Okay. Gunnar just hit the road. What do you think? Should we bring this bad boy to an end?
I I am barely able to stay awake, so and I vote yes. But if you want to,
what's that on your right shoulder? Last Dance.
That's a reflection of a light.
Okay, it looks like you have a growth. Okay, now yeah, it's gone. You
better?
moved. Yeah, all right, okay. All right. So that's a reflection of the light, not a UFO in your yard.
Not that well. It could be a UFO hiding behind the reflection.
As you sit here saying, "There's no fucking UFOs," and then one's like levitating behind your
Right.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was an exciting pub. I think we had Drone Tech, we had Hayden.
Yep.
Now we don't have either of them, and it's just us three.
I'm basically trying to hold my head up at this point.
Right, you're done. Once you have a rum, I saw you drinking earlier, but then
Yeah, I had rum, but that isn't why I'm done. I didn't get a good night's sleep last night. And,
right. Well, a little rum is any doctor would tell you that drink rum. That's what doctors say. It's number one thing.
Maybe I'll do better tonight.
I always thought rum gives you a headache.
Rum is good. Anyways, yeah. All right. Rummy's done. Biscuit, I think we're gonna call it.
That's fine by me.
Call it quits. All right.
It's good seeing you, Biscuit.
No worries.
Right.
I thought I'd just pop in anyway.
Yeah, it was good. Good to see you.
Well,
it was
epic
good.
pub. We had some excellent guests tonight. Thank you very much, Steve.
Anytime. See you, Biscuit.
Take it easy.
And yeah, it was good to see you too, my friend.
All right. Later.
See ya. And thus brings an end to Smokesteve's International Pub. And it was great to see and hear from some old friends. Hayden Hewitt in particular, great guy. Just good dude. Everyone check him out. Check out his content. And I will wish you all a good, healthy week. Keep yourselves motivated. Keep moving. Keep that heart rate up. You know, just live life, people. Live it all. Good night.